Championship gold means everything. It defines us as fighters. The goal, the competitor is simple. Become a champion. And for those who are defending the gold, it's simple. Win at all cost and reclaim your kingdom. Tonight, as Primetime returns to the modern day Coliseum, we'll have a star-studded card for the ages, where we will see both the Xbox Play and PlayStation champions looking to retain. In the main event, two men with a set of skills that are so diverse that leaves viewers mesmerized. Entering first, the Xbox challenger EK Donner. Part of a camp that remains an esports legacy. Today, Donner is in great company and looks to spin the primetime world on its axis as he looks to upset one of the best players in the community today. Donner. Naz has been a good champion. Has been. Tonight, I will leave the cage with a championship belt and a chip on my shoulder. Naz, come and get it. But for Donner to become the champion, he has a tall mountain to climb. Entering the reigning, defending, undisputed Xbox champion, Naz. Winning the championship back in the Grand Prix, Naz has been on a tear, leaving the competition unconscious and looking to solidify himself as a true champion in everyone's eyes. Possibly the most knowledgeable man in the community today. He is looking to lay claim to the Xbox division and rule like a king with an iron fist. People still don't think I'm the champion. Well, let's see what they're going to say when I dust off Donner and make my way to the top of my mountain once more that resides in my kingdom. I'm the champion and I'm always going to be there. So, get used to it. But before the main event can begin, two men on the PlayStation side look to battle for the championship. NM Smudger defends once again as he faces off against one of the most infamous players in the community, Fuck Gaming. His patience versus power, Smudger has looked like an unstoppable force of nature in the past season that's only picking up momentum as this one continues. He believes he will retain not just tonight, for the rest of the season. And the man looking to throw the most dominant PlayStation champion in primetime history, Fuck Gaming, his relentless takedowns and ability to finish from the clinch from anywhere in the fight makes him as dangerous as the fight goes longer. And so, with all that being said, competitors, fans and viewers of Primetime, strap in for a night of fights you can't possibly miss. The road to the gold starts right now. So, let's begin. Welcome to Primetime!
What is going on, you beautiful bunch of savages? I am your host, as always, Cyrus the Looney. Joining me in this commentary booth, as always, the JDime TV, Mr. Humbledink, Primetime 73, guys. It is a stacked card top to bottom. How are you feeling?
Oh my god, I'm feeling great. We're back again. We've got two title fights. JDime, you know you're excited. I can see you smiling over there. You know what it is. It's Naz versus Donner. We've got NM Smudger versus Vogt. Those are our two title fights tonight. And JDime, they are headlining the card for a reason.
Yeah, they are. And whether you love him or hate him, Naz has been on a run. He rejoined Primetime and captured that gold. And since then, he's been unstoppable, Humble. So what do you think EK Donner can do to upset the champion, Naz?
He's got to really shock him. You know, we've seen it before. We've seen it from Pabs when Pabs got him in that tournament and that Grand Prix, Cyrus. And the champions is going to be on high alert. One thing about Naz, he studies his opponents. He puts the work in on his TikTok, as you see. And he knows the kind of fighter he's going to be going up against before he does so. There's no dropouts tonight, no replacement fight, Cyrus. So it'll be very interesting to see how that one goes.
Oh, 100%, brother, 100%. EK Donner, is a game opponent. Naz knows this, and he takes all of his opponents very, very seriously. Obviously the EK boys former teammates with Naz, and I think that may play a little bit of a factor in the fight as well. Donner is going to be, aware of kind of what Naz brings to the table, or what he brought to the table, at least when he was training with them. So I think those guys match up beautifully for that main event, and of course the PlayStation title is also on the line in our co-main. We alternate them week to week. Currently, the pound-for-pound champion in Primetime MMA, NM Smudger, up against VUK. These guys, as the intro said, they have all of the skills to pay the bills. Smudger has been talking about being on a tear. That guy has been absolutely phenomenal. He has turned up this season, really, really hit the ground running, and, looking phenomenal, Humble. Looking phenomenal.
Yeah, Jay Dime is our only undefeated fighter in prime time to go 5-0. Nobody else has done that quite yet, mainly because he didn't get beat in the Grand Prix. Naz did, so that's why they're racing at the moment for the pound for pound, which we've got. And Smudger's just taking the lead, but tonight is night. Vote Gamer is one of those guys we talked about a lot last season, maybe for the wrong reason, Jay Dime, but it looked like he's been putting it together his last couple of fights.
Yes, even though he's gathered up some hate, he's slowly been putting together a nice little win streak. He's been showing that even though people may not like him, skills pay the bills at the end of the day, Cyrus.
100%, bro. If you don't have haters, you ain't doing it right. You've got to, bro. You've got to along that way. Not everybody's going to like what you bring to the table, and ultimately, he is winning his fights, and he's doing it more often than not with finishes. So, like I said, highly anticipated both the main and the co-main event, but as we look down the card, just a couple of fights. The main one that stands out to myself is the BFAP Trixie up against B3 Blackout Hours, man. Those guys always bring the action. Trixie, former champion, has his own emote for being pound for pound, setting certain records over the course of the last couple of years within Primetime MMA. And obviously the B3 boys have been absolutely slaying people left and right across the community with their precious style, and Blackout is a perfect kind of representation of that. And he has been bit of a steam train, bro. Every time he's been matched up, Humble, he seems to kind of go into that fight and try to get them out, in seconds, not minutes, it feels.
Yeah, exactly that. I don't think I can say any more on that, because you said everything about that fight that you need to say. It is, both of those guys are exactly what you described. We've got fights and people going at it from the top 10 all over this card. Look at them prelims, J-Dime. We've got Word Life probably making his debut, I believe, for B3. One of my favorite guys to watch throughout the full community. You got Pabst, you've got Go, you've got myself in the first fight. I know, and we do so well lately, but Capalot, Jakey, all these guys, J-Dime. What are you looking forward to on the prelims?
I'm looking forward to watching you versus Smoke, because every time I watch you, Humble, for some reason, you always get beat up for some reason. Maybe I'm bad luck, but all jokes aside, there's a lot of good fights. We got B3 Word Life versus Storm. We got BFAP Jakey on the prelims. There's Capalati. There's so many good fights that could easily be on the main card. Easily, Cyrus.
Definitely, brother. It wasn't too long ago Jakey was challenging for a belt. You've got to remember, that guy has had some spectacular knockouts leading up to this, and obviously kind of run into a couple of tough fights, as you do when you're fighting at the top end of the tables. Then he's obviously now kind of finding himself in a position up against one of the rising talents in DB Driz. DB have been really, since they've reformed into DB, really come together. They've really been putting in the work. It's been evident in the way that we've seen their competitors compete very recently. So I'm looking forward to every single one of these fights. But talking about the prelims in and of itself, there, Humble, I think that we're about ready to get into that very first fight. KIA Humble up against Smoke VS. This fight actually came together relatively short notice. It was a little bit earlier on today, so we're going to say love and leave Mr. Humbledink, who will be joining us after his fight and going forward. And we are going to bring back in the one and only Doctor, who... Doctor, welcome back, brother. I think that we're about ready to get into it. These guys set up. We know what Humble brings to the table. We know what Smoke brings to the table. They're dangerous competitors through and through. Humble definitely needs a win here, though, and I think that from everything I'm hearing, he's coming very game with the Garbrandt pick. Going to be looking to implement some silky smooth striking, which can be easier said than done up against somebody like Smoke, especially when he's using Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, the O'Malley pick is a lot of distance. It's quite a long length to do. So in Humble, he's wanting to either put the pressure on or really outlast the stamina of O'Malley to then capitalize later. The main crucial thing is not to get hit because, again, Cody with his no chin here, Joe.
Yeah, it's always tricky when you're going against someone so rangy like Sean O'Malley, who also has underrated power, as we seen last weekend, too. Yeah. So for Humble, he has to find a way in without taking all them big shots, Cyrus.
Definitely, brother. Feints may be the name of the game. Of course, being the shorter fighter does have some advantages as well out here, Doc. They do touch it up. I was half expecting a fake glove, to be perfectly honest with you. But he does throw a taunt out early, catches him with a little cartwheel kick.
It's always nice to see the flashy stuff coming out early. O'Malley known for it, but seeing a cartwheel kick out of Cody Garbrandt.
Another one.
Couple knees already coming out, working that body. That stamina is probably going to be the core game that you want to be messing about here. As Humble says, he likes the third round quite a lot, so maybe expecting to push it there as well.
I would think that maybe, though, the kind of start of this fight isn't going to be really great for him going into the later rounds, Jay. He's using some high intensity movements just like that, and a lot of footwork. Now gets rocked, and it looks like Smoke is more than happy to punish him to the body every opportunity he gets as well.
I'm scared. I'm scared for Cody just because Cody's not doing bad, but you know, once you touch that chin once, you stun him once, it's like every shot may put him down, Doc.
Yeah, both of them are using a lot of headroom there as well. You saw the O'Malley coming in, using a lot of the fullbacks, always keeping his head off that centre line, so it's working nicely, but it also means that if Humble wants to try another cartwheel kick there, it leads to an increased vulnerability into the favour of Cody.
Gets him up against the cage nicely. I think this is a pretty smart move if he's able to get him down, especially, which he does, Jay, very, very nicely. For quite a decent amount of time to work there, bro. And I know that Garbrandt, predominantly known for those hands, but he does train, with the Team Alpha Male, so the wrestling is going to be strong with him if he wants to stay there, which he does.
Oh, yeah, he does want to stay there.
Shit.
Never mind.
O'Malley not caring. He wants to stay there. He's going to take him to his own realm. And now in top mount, Humble having some serious issues. A couple of those were blocked nicely, but a couple also went through. And with Cody's chin, as we mentioned several times here, you only need one or two shots really to break that chin of his.
Yeah, this is... If I'm Humble, I'm not mad that I'm here because I got stunned on the feet. I can use this to recover and then probably make it to the next round, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if he does want to truly take this fight into the later rounds, he does need to be a little bit more defensively sound. I mean, he was looking good with his movement early, but there's too many of these cartwheel kicks out here, Doc, at least for my liking. I know that he's landing them, but I just feel like it's too much for too little.
Yeah, and it may be the case. He is landing a lovely bunch of shots here, going to the body as well, working from the tower and more then towards the head. And that's another great way of opening the defense to do damage. But it seems like O'Malley's doing the same, and both of them are currently evenly matched in.
Yeah, I mean, relatively close other than the big rock that O'Malley got. But, shit, he almost got caught again, Jay.
He was close to death. He was close. The bell didn't ring. Something else may have happened, Doctor.
Yeah, it's true. That elbow was very close on the uppercut as well. Interesting note about the elbows is uppercuts normally get pretty easily countered from them, and as you can see there, that stun led from the elbow. If O'Malley can find those openings later down into the second round, he's going to have a really easy window to exploit. It seems like Humble's going between being really defensively with the cartwheel kicks, even though it sounds a bit mad, to them really aggressive with the boxing.
I say easier said than done, trying to phase the two together, and honestly, Smoke feels like he's coming into his own right here, Jay. He's opened up this round, landing virtually everything that he has thrown. Although Humble is pressing him, and the more you can get him backed up against this cage line, the better it will be to land some of those kind of fallacious combinations that we saw a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, but Cody needs a new entryway, a new way to enter the pocket, because he's getting punched with a 1-2 every time he enters the pocket, Doc.
Yeah, he really is, and it's a difficulty when you're in this league set and you don't, and it may be just because you're not used to it or you're not sure. Humble is used to it. He's just having to figure out a different way.
Damn!
Oh my God!
O'Malley,
there's not standing there is a good idea.
I just feel like O'Malley Smoke right now is feeling so much more comfortable. It seems like any nerves that he may have entered with have definitely calmed down, and maybe it's those cartwheel kicks. Honestly, I feel like it's the cartwheel kicks. I don't know if Humble's trying to bait him into something. We'll have to ask him later, Jay, but he's thrown a lot of them, man. He's thrown a lot of them.
Yeah, and like I said, he needs to find a way in because every time he gets in, he's getting countered and he's paying for it. If Humble can find another way in the pocket, maybe he'll have some success. But it looks like it may be too late, Doc.
Looking like it really is. He's just trying his damnedest here to figure out some path or victory. Another body shot there. It's looking like O'Malley's felt the flow of just his punches and his kicks, and he's able to mesmerize that range just into what he needs at any point. He's starting to miss a couple of shots there, but
Oh my God.
Oh, another
elbow.
Yeah, 3 for 3 on it, or 4 for 4 even. 3 rocks out of it though. Absolutely massive kind of opportunities being seized by Smoke VS, doing himself and his camp proud. Couple of shots now landing from the boxing combinations of Cody Garbrandt out here, J-Dime. I feel like he's still in the fight, but those stuns, those rocks, got to be a little bit demoralizing.
He's still in the fight, but every time he hasn't countered that pull elbow. He's been getting baited into that, and that was really supposed to be 4 for 4, but the elbow just happened not to hit him, Doc.
That head kick though come back in retaliation. O'Malley getting a bit too happy on the countering, and now all that head kick being a threat, he decides to take it back down to the ground. Most likely a good decision. It's to get a different feel, and as the round draws to an end with the last minute coming here, you've got to imagine that's a suggestible idea.
Well, he did get taken down in the first round, but was able to reverse it, so maybe he feels comfortable in the spot, even though Sean is not really a wrestler, and you know, ultimately he's up in this round, Jay. He's up in this round, and that's going to put him 2 up going into the third and final, where Humble said he wanted to get this fight too. He's there, but the odds are stacked against him, and he needs to go hell for leather and potentially get Sean out of there, bro, because it's getting tough for him right now.
He wanted to be there. He wanted to be there, but I don't think this is how he wanted to get there, because he's been getting beat up getting there. And then I also noticed once he did that cartwheel kick, Humble don't have stamina, Doc.
I was about to mention he was so close to getting knocked down there. If O'Malley was given 1 second more, he would have been able to get a stun, most likely just with a body kick or something, after missing such a big shot there.
Using those stutter steps nicely. Gets the rock, though. No stamina, Jay, as you said. Decides to get a little taunt out there. Mental warfare fully at display, but I mean, he's got him his head health a little bit shaky here. Although his stamina's not there. I was gonna say if he could stop the takedown, he might be in with a shot.
It's looking like Cody is still want to be aggressive, and due to the way the stamina is extremely low, making it difficult. On the same part, though, Smoke is knowing that Humble just wants to play all held to the wall, and he's struggling to figure out a counter apart from the elbow, and he's now taking it down to the grappling. It's the idea that, okay, I don't want to risk getting caught at the very end in the third round, so let's try to secure a victory like this with Glenn Gillett.
I mean, there's a lot of time. I don't think he's going to get this one, Jay, but the first one's often making reads, so even just tying him up, as Doc was saying a second ago, puts him steps closer to a win, and, you know, at least in this position, allowed him to get a couple of reads so that maybe he can get the next one.
I honestly don't think this match is over, but you're battling with no cardio and Cody Garbrandt's chin, so he got to pull this win out his ass at this point, Doc.
Well, he's doubling up on the jabs and the straights to make his way through the block. The uppercut comes through, digs down to that body. That nearly gets stunned. Lovely head movement there, and Smoke just managing to stay right out of the way of taking any damage.
He is trying to reach into his deep pocket of tricks and try to get something going. Hits the full guard, does not try to get the sweep on it. Gets postured up as a result here. Looks like Smoke is relatively comfortable. Looks like he's regained his senses, but does get his back taken, Jay. That's massive, although the RNC not available.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Humble has a chance right now, but
oh shit!
Like whoa. Maybe he did want to get to the third round. Maybe there was a method to his madness, Doc.
Sometimes there always is. Humble's got the fight IQ, but the difference is he's got to implement it sometimes, and that's what a lot of times is. Even with high fight IQs, is there's a difference between having the IQ, knowing what to do, and then being able to implement it. He's trying to get in there, but the head movement it seems a bit too much. And 40 seconds left. He's still in the fight, but I don't think he's in the decision.
Oh, but he not doing I needed a
He doesn't need it.
The comeback.
He doesn't need
Oh, I'm not gonna lie to y'all guys. He may have just shitted his pants in the third round. He may have just fumbled a bag. I feel like that did something to him mentally, seeing himself get hurt. And he just started playing it safe, and Humble started taking over. That's a hell of a comeback, Doc.
That is, O'Malley looked really good in the first round. Humble started out a bit odd, to say the least, with the cartwheel kicks. Then he had that second round with a bunch of knockdowns of O'Malley, looking more and more dominant with the elbows. And then that third round, it was O'Malley playing on that back foot, looking more for the grappling. Humble came out, low stamina, and just went forward, threw everything at him, including the kitchen sink, and finally something knocked him unconscious there.
I mean,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's absolutely massive. And just have to give a shout out, 10,000 points go to Shogun 420. He bet big on Humble going into that fight, and I mean, he must have been worried about those coins. He must have been worried about those coins all the way till that third round, because what a late turnaround. Humble's going to be over the moon, I imagine. We're going to hear from him in a couple of seconds, but Smoke was putting it on him for the first 10, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How did he let him come back? And I'm sorry to say, I'm one of the people who lost coins. I for sure bet against Humble, too.
I love it. Gotta be done, though. Gotta be done. Lucky, you know, ultimately, if anything, what probably spurred him on. He knew that you were betting against him, Jay.
Sure he knew.
But brilliant. We'll be getting him back in a couple of seconds as soon as he's set up. But Jay, looking up into the rest of the card, of course. Up next, we're going to be having Ryan K up against EK Pabst. We've seen Pabst actually challenge for a belt not so long back. The guy is, he did really well. He actually beat EK Naz, obviously in the Grand Prix, which is why he was able to get the belt. Had to pull out of the next stages of the Grand Prix then, and can maybe not had the kind of same luck or same momentum that he kind of once had in that section to become potentially become the champion. But I think this is a really tough fight, especially such an early point in the card. They're not going to have much time to warm up for it. They're going to have to go into it and really find their feet during the fight.
Crazy, because Pabst was just a main eventer. He just was on a main event not so long ago. Pabst was just Naz's #1 rival. They're both 1-1 apiece before Naz beat him the third time in their third fight. Before he beat him, they were just like, it's so crazy how he's on a prelim. This could easily be a main card fight.
Oh, for sure, bro, for sure. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you're back with us there, Mr. Humbledink.
Yes,
what a fight,
I am.
bro. What a fight.
Oh, I could hear you all the way. I don't know why I started so badly, but listen to thank you to Powerful MMA for getting. He's been inspiring me all week, man. The guy's amazing. He helped us get our first win in the USFL. Helped me get my win tonight. Great guy, great teammate. Anyway, thank you to the chat as well. I don't know if people know this, right? But when you're fighting and the chat is going crazy, it's so much better. Like, the chat was going crazy for that. The people were saying bobblehead, people were saying I was getting battered. It was great. Like, show these fighters your support in the chat. Like, talk amongst about the fight. It's so entertaining. Like, it's so good when you start the chat and you can just see a chat just going mental. It proper gives me the energy to kind of come back in that fight. I was like, I'm not going to lose this one. And this end of that second round, I was like, you just couldn't see this, but he threw 141 strikes and landed 38 significant strikes in the first round. So I was just trying to tire him out. I said, but I was knackered, I won't lie. It was a good fight though. It was a good fight. The cartwheel kick, right, is because every time he kept leaning back and pulling my elbow, so I don't know if he's noticed. He pulled my elbow, so the cartwheel kick would have caught him, so that's why I was trying to... Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no. Look,
Too many
performance. What a comeback. Sets out the precedence for the rest of this evening, Humble. But taking that fight on short notice up against, like I said, a rising star. Those VS boys have been doing the work, and Smoke quite clearly is a talent to keep your eye out for. Didn't go his way this evening, but that was one hell of a turnaround late on, brother. I'm sure you were over the moon with it. These next guys are actually just being set up as we speak. Ryan K and EK Pabst. They were going to give them a couple of extra seconds to get themselves all readied up. Otherwise, of course, we have a plethora of fights at our disposal. Looking kind of forward, though, I know that we touched upon it a little bit earlier. We didn't kind of really cover a couple of the next fights between Kira and MBK Goat and OG Mud up against KM Capalote. Obviously, just to kind of start with the OG Mud, KM Capalote, I'm very familiar with those guys. They've been around for some time. Just absolutely phenomenal competitors. they are veterans of the scene, and to match themselves, early up in the season is a tough matchup for them. But I think it really will kind of allow at least one of them to propel themselves into some really, really nice momentum going forward. After beating, like I said, a veteran within the community.
Yeah, 100%. And OG Mud didn't have the greatest starts to the season, and Capalotti did. So this is going to be a very interesting one, because OG Mud, he's nobody to be trifled with. J Dime. Capalotti is a great competitor. He's 1-0 at the moment. He could go to 2-0. It means the world at the moment, J Dime. It means the world. Look at the main guy at the moment fighting for the title. He is only 2-0. So it depends on how you win. You want that first round finish. It depends on who you win against. You're only one fight away from a title shot if you win this fight, technically.
Not just that, you're one fight away from the main card, being on the main event too, Humble.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, my guys, as we were running down those fights just a little bit, we will actually jump straight into Ryan K up against EK Paps. They are ready. They are raring to go. Welterweight is the division. Appears, Mr. Hump, we are going to see a Jorge Masvidal up against the one and only ruthless Robbie Lawler.
Ooh, interesting fights right there. Masvidal versus Lawler. It's a great match. Is them two in the same camp? I can't remember. In real life.
In real life?
They used to be. Oh no, I can tell you this.
ATT.
They used to be part of ATT. If you remember the old vlogs.
Imagine watching those spars. We'll get to see it right now, right?
Yeah. Do you remember the old vlogs with Kobe and Jorge?
Yeah.
Robbie Lawler was there with them. They was all training in the parking lot.
I thought he was.
Yeah.
So this is like a teammate versus teammate almost sort of scenario. Be interesting to watch these fights in real life. But these two are about to go down. It's the second fight of this evening. It is the former title contender, EK Pabst, fighting for his spot against Cyrus, fighting against Ryan, and Ryan's got something to prove right here. Why Pabst, he's going to try and reclaim his spot. A big win puts him right back into that category.
Yeah, honestly, this is one of the things right now, because it's still very, very early in the season. It truly is all to play for. You're only a couple of wins away from putting yourself in a position to potentially earn gold over your division and reign supreme. But EK Pabst has kind of had his opportunity to touch that a few times in the past. He obviously has been within, kind of clutching distance of it. And I imagine that he's going to be very, very motivated to get back into this. As you can see, though, Jay, Ryan K is very game. He is working the body early. He's being defensively sound for the most part. Ooh. And, they seem very, very content to kind of duke it out and play this dangerous game on the inside.
Yeah, and this will be a great win for Ryan, going against a former title contender. That's a big statement, and that will send a message to Naz if he wins, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. He might not get it straight away because Naz is beating, but it puts him back in that picture. Like I said, you're only one win away from a title shot, because that's where we're at this season at the moment. Anyone can kind of get it. You can get your opportunity. We've seen a lot of stars rise like that as well, Cyrus, and then they don't quite go away. They stay around the top picture. They get a taste for it. They work a bit harder. They put a bit more effort in, and you've got to think that Pabst has got a bit of that energy from fighting Naz.
Yeah, for sure, man. And look, those EK boys, they for one thing have been around for a very long time at the upper echelon, and there's for a reason. But he does get caught by Ryan K, who is now trying to get the fight done with. But you see that veteran savvy come in, Jay. Pabst able to stay calm and move his head, avoid some of those strikes.
Yeah, because he's been here before, and he was doing good until that uppercut. Until he threw the uppercut. When you throw a body shot, it's always a risk, that uppercut, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a very close fight, but you can see the bodywork from Pabst has really affected Ryan K, like you were saying, Jay. And at the same time, Lawler's starting to sneak some of them shots through from Ryan, and he's really catching Pabst with them. And it's going to be a game of, can Ryan keep taking this bodywork before he starts to drop, or can he get a few more rocks and knock down to kind of even the playing field, Jay?
Yeah, but I just noticed something. Is this fight on 5 rounds?
Oh, they're gonna have to finish each other.
Yeah, don't worry. This ain't going 3, bro. This ain't going 3.
It's not. It's not. You're right.
Yeah, you are good. Once again, though, eyes on J Dime here this evening, like a hawk, brother, like a hawk. 5 rounds. These guys are quite clearly setting a pace out here, though. Humble. You can already see Ryan K kind of approaching that halfway mark. The bodywork of Pabst really starting to add up. Oh my God! Lovely sidestep. How did he not get a stun?
God.
Oh,
nice work right there. I do not know. It's kind of weird. You slept your night when you land a clean hook on someone after a dodging. Oh no. And Pabst just threw that beautiful knee in there, which really helped him kind of capitalize. One of the things that I've noticed about Pabst, he does really, really well. intercepting shots, J-Dime. He'll throw shots in between a 2 or 3 piece of his opponent, and he'll completely halt the stamina. And obviously, when he halts the stamina and they throw that extra shot, it costs them a lot more stamina to throw that shot than it would when they've got higher stamina, which drains the stamina over time by doing that cumulative bunch of times in that round.
Yeah, and it's weird to say, even though he got stunned that round, I think Pabst is going to be the most confident because he was draining his stamina. If you've seen the stats, he was making him throw shots and making him whiff, Humble.
I completely agree with that. You can't sustain that body health and that damage, Cyrus.
No, definitely not, bro. Definitely not. You can see it. I mean, obviously he's got the stats on permanently. It's not looking too healthy right now. You know, within a range where you can kind of take 1 or 2 in a combination, but definitely needs to start to get active and try to get some, you know, big damage really put out there. You got a stun in that last round, Jay, and he gets one here, bro. This is what he needed.
He needs to do something right now, though. The stamina saved him, J-Dime. The stamina of Pabst getting it down, that's what saved him. If he could keep throwing there, if the damage wasn't done to the body, he could have kept going forward there, reland some damage, but he had no stamina to do it.
I'm really interested, though, to see how they would judge it going to 3 because the stats aren't close, but Robbie has the stuns, so I don't know how they would judge this, Cyrus.
Well, we will find out if it happens. So normally the rule on this sort of thing is that if they are scheduled for a 3-round fight and they go past that in the fight, there isn't a finish, a definitive winner. We ask for an automatic knockout. One of them bows, one of them kicks in the face, and we look at the stats at that point because, of course, they chop and change it per round. But we will see. I don't think that we're gonna get there, Humble. I don't think the way that these guys are landing hands and have been from the opening bell. I think we're probably gonna get a definitive win, especially right now. I mean, they continue to stay right in front of each other and throw some bombs.
I'm not saying anything, Cyrus. That is a touchy subject, you know. The commentator's curse is real. I do believe in it. I'm spooked by it. So I'm not saying anything. This could go decision, Cyrus. That's all I'll say. If you want to commentary curse me now, it might go the decision. So, you know, these two are going to try and knock each other out. But the bodywork from Pabst is what I'm most impressed with in this fight so far, not just the round. It set up his headshots. Oh my. Headshot dead nearly done right there, J-Dime.
Yeah, but you want to hear something crazy? When he threw that body kick, he was trying to throw a body uppercut. It's just sometimes they make you throw a body kick instead, Cyrus.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
bro.
Oh.
The Rock once again. I mean, he is calm, calculated in his approach. Nice, perfectly timed sidestep needed from Ryan K, but he gets stunned. Not out of the woods yet. The finish might be right here.
Get him to the body.
He survives. Alexa play I Will Survive. Jesus Christ.
Alexa does need to play I Will Survive.
Alexa, don't play I Will Survive. I'm sorry, I was joking. Alexa, stop.
Oh, no, there's no way.
Alexa, stop. Oh, sorry, guys.
No, Alexa, play.
Oh. Bro, he is just about surviving. 5 seconds left on the clock. He may see another round. I don't know how, Jay. That was an incredible amount of damage being laid his way.
Crazy.
Man, Pab's striking is so clean right now. It's so methodical. He's calculating everything. He's breaking down the body. He started that in the first round, making him waste that stamina. So even though he stunned him, he was going to be better for the long run, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. If I was going to say, like, watch, you want to learn how to play as an amateur, as a noob, as somebody who's not very good at striking, watch Pabs play, break him down, kind of watch what he does, even if he gets rocked. He doesn't let up. He's on the game plan, and he's going for the finish now.
It's over.
And Robbie Lawler gets protected from the referee from more brutal damage to the face, Cyrus.
Yeah, just that. The shot selection was phenomenal from Pabst, man. I mean, like, absolutely fair play. Both guys brought all of the action here this evening, right? I don't, you know, there's big moments of success, especially early, Jay, for Robbie. But the way that Pabst, especially as the fight progressed, started to make reads, as he started to get those adjustments implemented, and ultimately how he chose his shots that led to that finish was absolutely phenomenal, and shows why he, you know, was able to make it to the top, why he was able to beat the current champion in the past, and he clearly feels that he has the tools and he needs to get back there, and wins like that are going to go a long way.
Yeah. That showed, look at the stats right there, 109 to 40 striking wise. That showed his shot selection because the efficiency, 109 to 277, the efficiency and his ability to make his opponent miss and making him pay to the body was beautiful, Humble.
186 strikes and 40 landed, insignificant. So 163 strikes missed. in that, you know, you're going to punish your opponent, and he did a good job going to the body, like Jay said, and that's what ultimately got him the win. I feel like we're watching main card fighters fight so early on. You know, Cyrus, it's been 2 great fights so far, if I do say so myself, but we've only got more great fights to come. We started with a bang. Why would we end here? Next, we've got Kira versus Goat, I do believe, unless there's been a change.
Yes, sir. That is absolutely right, Humble. And as you said, brother, start as you mean to go on. The card has been phenomenal so far. Don't expect to let up in this next one. 2 guys that are known for bringing the action here, J-Dime. The one and only GOAT of MMA, as he has his name on the PlayStation side of things, and Reepsy, also known now, I think, as Kira, changed his name. Always confuses me, as I said, bro, but we know these guys. They've been around for a long time, and they've gone with some legendary picks.
Oh, I keep forgetting. Reepsy did change his name to Kara.
Yeah.
Reepsy, why didn't you change your name to Kara? That always throws me off. Put your name back to Reepsy. Like, Humble, why did he do that?
I don't know. I'm looking at that ping. I'm worried. But it's got 2-0 on him at the moment. He keeps jumping to 365. I hope these other guys have a great fight. But I fought Reepsy so many times. Why did he change his name, J-Dime? Why do these people change their names? They build their brand for 6 months. You get to know them in all these esports leagues. You understand the YouTube pages and the TikTok accounts. And then they go, now I'm called The Rock. It's just, it happens every single week.
It kills me every time, Cyrus.
It does, bro. It pains the soul. There's so many people already, bro. There's so many people already, right? You know, these people make names themselves, as you say, but maybe Kira is what he feels better with. Maybe he wants to build himself and his brand around that. We'll see how this one goes. There's a bit of a taunt to start out. I mean, maybe no love lost in this one, Humble, as they already trying to get a couple of shots landed. It doesn't seem like GOAT of MMA is going to be taking any back steps anytime soon.
Here we go, and you're completely right. It's Southpaw versus Southpaw as well, and this is usually always about that lead foot, Dan. Something we always talk about when we fight, and it's as similar in the UFC esports scene as it is in boxing and other sports, is where that lead foot is so important, and where they place that lead foot to land certain shots and be closer. It's all about speed, timing, and at the moment, Nick Diaz is pouring it on Robbie Lawler.
Speed, timing, and angles. That's what it's all about. Oh, and he already stunned him, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. Perfectly timed pullback counter. Now got Reepsy maybe a little bit concerned about not overextending on his shots, but that doesn't last too long here, Humble, up against somebody like a Robbie Lawler. You know that guy is, meanness in the cage, absolutely ruthless. His name being that for a reason. As you can see, doesn't seem to be too concerned so far, but definitely has to be wary of those pull counters of GOAT MMA. He does always have them in his back pocket.
Yeah, Reepsy's a top player as well. He's a top player. He knows what he's doing. Like, early rounds, you need to get information. If you're getting information, you're going to be making adjustments as a top player. You can't be taking too much damage. You know, you can get dropped a few times, but you've got to be careful. And Reepsy's kind of starting to pick his moments right now. What he'll be looking for is certain opportunities, certain patterns, J-Dime. And at the moment, you can see he's picked up on a few, but Reepsy's got to keep changing it up, constantly keeping them guessing.
Yeah, he's starting to make some adjustments, but he got to move his head over that jab. He can't let that jab touch his guard. Even though it's not touching his face, it'll lower your block, Cyrus.
Yeah, it will do, definitely a cumulative, especially, it's the Diaz way, right? Keep popping that jab in your face, continue to touch their opponents. Maybe not with 100% power each and every time, but definitely over the period of a 15 or 25-minute fight, you can get the finish, and we've already seen that Diaz does have some power in those hands as well. Did get the stun a little bit earlier on. Reepsy definitely looking sure-footed here, Humble. Looking like he's trying to turn the tides, but so far I'm very, very impressed with GOAT MMA as he gets another stun.
Starts to walk forward with that Stockton style. Comes forward and starts to hit Robbie Lawler over and over again. J-Dime, he is causing palpitations at the moment to his head. He's doing damage, and Robbie Lawler doesn't seem to be able to get out the way. He's 1 second behind on everything at the moment.
Yeah, because he's not moving his head left or right. He's only pulling occasionally, so them jab straights are hitting his block, and he's not moving his head at all, Cyrus.
He doesn't. He seems to want to trust in his block, but
he's listening.
Yeah, he is listening. Gets a nice little slip off there, trying to move it now, but there it is!
Oh, there we go! There we go! Thank you!
J-Dime.
Thank you!
He gets some coaching from the commentary team.
Whoa!
Die. God. Oh my days. Go ahead, and reminds us why it's his name, essentially. J Dime gives a nice little commentary curse right there.
I gave the right advice.
Just to the wrong person.
I gave the right advice. Jay's just saying, but was I wrong? But was I wrong?
MMA is in the chat saying, give me a challenge next time. Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, look.
Is he on Xbox or PlayStation?
He's on both, I think. I think he might be on both, but this was on PlayStation. This fight was on PlayStation for sure. Look at the statistics, though. Very, very evenly matched, right? Knockdown on one side, 2 stuns on the other, and a knockout quite clearly on one end of it as well. Look, two great fighters. One guy has to reign supreme, and it is, as you said, the name fitting suitably. Goto of MMA, getting a pull counter beautifully, Jay. Heeding your advice and walking away with the W.
That's a good win. Even though it was competitive, once you win, you can talk all the trash you want. Because what is he going to say? You beat his ass. What are you going to say in that point?
What if you're me? I can't talk all the trash. My opponent kicked my ass. Yeah. Go over there with a stylish performance, Cyrus. And he was difficult to read at sometimes. He was doing some of the same stuff, but then when he got going, he was unstoppable. And the pull elbows is what essentially got him the job done.
Yeah, exactly right. Honestly, this card is shaping up to be everything that we had expected and some. And as we say that, we move very beautifully on to this next fight. OG Mud, KM Capolotti, one of the fights that I had kind of maybe given a little nod to prior to us kind of really getting into the event here, Humble. As I said, these guys been around for a very, very long time. I'm expecting big things from this battle. Oh my fucking god, bro! Scratch that. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening, bro. It's KM Caliber up against KM Capolotti. I mean, still a delight, bro. OG Mud. I don't know, bro. I don't know what happened here. He may have missed weight. Wait. Hopefully he's okay, right? What? But he ain't here. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
No.
KM Caliber, bro.
Hey, no, I have a theory now. Because Caliber always fills in late notice. He's always there. I think Caliber's paying them to leave. Because there's no way he's always fills in.
That's a strong accusation.
There's no way. There's no way.
Got a doctor in the background. He got stuck up a tree. Well, that tree definitely is becoming infamous. We may have to put it on a shirt at some point in the near future.
Been trying to chop it down, so it's too strong. It's a strong tree, that is. It's a strong tree. I don't understand how so many people get caught up on it. It's not hard to show up for a fight, but that tree has got so many victims. But it sometimes leaves us with better, in my opinion, better fights. And on this occasion, for me, Caliber stepping in against a teammate, that's a better fight, in my opinion.
Whether it be the injury bug or that absolutely infamous tree that everybody continues to get lost in, it, like you say, it has led to what we know will be a phenomenal fight. These two guys train with each other regularly out here, J-Dime. I know that you probably, like Humble, like myself, have a bunch of guys that you regularly spar with when you play the game, and they're going to be very, very comfortable. And from a class of fighter like the KM lot, like these two in particular, who are their proven talents that showed in time out that they have very, very unique skill sets, very, very kind of intelligent play styles. This is going to be a chess battle. There's no pressure. It's teammate v teammate. They just want to go out there and let the better man win.
Yeah, and I respect that Uriah Faber pick. A lot of people don't pick Uriah Faber in a competitive league. Like, you gotta have balls to do that, Humble.
You gotta have Caliber. That's exactly what you've got to have, and that's what Caliber is. He doesn't pick the normal sort of fighter. He will pick. You've got to think the picks that you've got. We're in 4 stars as well. Sean O'Malley's 4 stars. He didn't ban him. Crazy, right? Cody Garbrandt. You've got. Oh my God! He could be a mistake.
Retire again, Uriah. Retire. Golly.
Oh my days.
A little too old.
Oh my God! Uriah Faber is eating. Oh, Caliber. How dare you come up to that's the land. These two are going out, and Caliber's starting to get going. He needs to be careful, he doesn't get put out though. Sean O'Malley is dangerous.
Caliber going for the takedown, gets it into half guard. I mean, to be fair for Caliber, this is probably what he needed, Jay. He got stunned early, and if he can grind out his opponent, he normally has an advantage here. Why not take him down, bro? You don't want to stay there and continue to get lit up.
Yeah, but I still respect Uriah pick. Okay, how do you let Sean flip you over? I know Sean showed he can grapple off his back, But I don't think he's doing that to Uriah, Humble.
No, but these both are fantastic. Oh, we got an armbar attempt. Don't know about this.
The stamina's actually pretty low, though.
Yeah, he's getting away quite a bit, and I think it's going to be more difficult. Yeah, it looks like it's coming.
He stops it. It looks like this game is on, but...
Yeah, I think he's out. Just to give you a hint of how big this fight is so early on our prelims, we've got Naz, our current champion, jibing at Caliber, and Caliber jibing back. You know, potential title contention. He's 1-0 at the moment, Caliber. He needs to keep that against Capolotti. Capolotti 2-1. He could go 3-1 very soon and put himself in that top 5. And fantastic sort of both. These guys could be in the top 10 fighting on the prelims. It's absolutely crazy, and fighting for a title in the future.
Yeah, and they're giving really good accounts of themselves right now, J-Dime. The slips, the movement, absolutely phenomenal, especially from Capolotti. He looks dialed in on the feet, doing Sugar Sean O'Malley full credit here this evening with the way that he's choosing his shots.
Yeah, his shot selection is nice, and it is competitive on the feet. I just think when you're... Oh, my goodness. I just think there's nothing Caliber's going to be able to do with him on the feet, especially with Uriah Faber.
Oh, my God. He cannot miss that chin, Humble.
Oh, head kick. It's coming. He's first. Caliber's on top with how long left? 34 seconds. And he starts to land. Oh, Caliber. Oh, my God. Caliber. No.
How?
Bro, he just dogged his teammate, bro.
How did he just do that?
That's a violation. That's a violation.
I'm standing on my chair now. I'm not sitting anymore. I'm standing on my chair now.
Bro, the chat is going no way. What the hell?
What just happened? Mate, he was getting violated and then he violates.
Oh.
That went from like, I'm getting my ass kicked to you cannot stop the thunder. That was crazy, Cyrus.
Wow.
It's like Caliber just threw a fit there. He just threw a fit like, no!
He hopped out. He went, I've had enough of this. My chin has been checked way too many times.
Wow.
Who expects 4 straights in a row from top mount? Who does that?
If he moved his head one time, he would have been out.
I bet this is
He just kept his hand to the side like it was going to happen, like, and then he was too little, too late.
This is the thing, though, right? You know when you fought somebody so many times.
Yeah, and you know they're going to go left.
They know they're going to go left. You know that they're going to go right. Humble. This time he was not. Caliber just went everything down that barrel.
It's like every single spar they've ever had was to set up this fight, and Caliber was just sat there with his back pocket like he thinks I'm going left, and he's going to keep his hand there for 4 minutes if he has to.
Wow.
That's absolutely brilliant, bro. That's absolutely brilliant.
I can't believe he won that fight. That's crazy. We're 4 fights in. We're 4 fights in. What's happening?
Keep the energy, right? There's we'll saw that. Because look, respect.
Oh, guys, you must love this shit, man. This is such a good league. Honestly, our league is fantastic. You guys make it so good. The fights are so good, J-Dime. I don't watch any other fights like this. It's always crazy in prime time.
That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had my feet on the chair after that.
That's
crazy. You see me jump like that's
so crazy. I couldn't believe it. I had a fit. I was like, I can't believe. Like, come on, Caliber, you can't do that to us.
And the reason that there was such a big reaction as well is because of how good Capolotti was doing up until that point. He never been finished on the ground like that.
Oh my
Pulled it out of absolutely nowhere, but. Once again, I mean, Caliber now still undefeated, 2-0. That's putting him in good standing for the rankings as we move forward. Interested to see what he's able to do. But from one high-level kind of set of players to another, DB Driz, one of their more recent additions up against the one and only BFAP Jakey. As we mentioned, leading into this card, the DB boys been doing fantastic, especially as of recently when they reformed. They've been having some excellent results. Driz, one of those guys that's been kind of at the forefront of that, but he's going up against one of the true OGs of the scene here, Humble. BFAP Jakey, been around for a very long time. Of course, we saw him very recently doing the charity event with Terrence McKinney and the like. You know, absolutely phenomenal competitor, lovely guy, and looks to bring all of it to fruition here this evening. He needs to kind of push back this rising kind of talent in Driz, you know, and Driz needs to capture that opportunity. Sorry, losing my voice. And get that better in his cap.
That's what you do, Cyrus. You battle through your voice break, going and the type of person you are. But Driz, like you said, a rising star, currently 2-2. He's had lots of fights this season. Bringing back, as you said, Diddy Boxing, and then you got Beef Up Jakey. Credit to the community, guys. If you're going out there and doing charity events for the community and doing things like that and putting good sort of vibes out there and good streams and good things going on and organising things for UFC fights, things like that, you're a credit to this community, especially with all the darkness that we've had recently, J Diamond, all of the things that have been said, you know, so credit to that guy Jakey doing that. But he's currently number 10 in prime time. He's wanting to be fighting in that top 5. He's wanting to fight against all of the, you know, the top guys, and he's gonna have a chance right now because Driz is no joke.
Eddie Alvarez versus Max Holloway. That's a fight I never thought I'd see.
Lightweight Max Holloway. Lightweight Max Holloway.
Yeah, but Eddie Alvarez, that's not a pick I see all the time because, you know, even those 4 stars, people like to pick the metas. Like there's players that people comfortable with, and I don't see a lot of Eddie Alvarez, Cyrus.
He's a poker fighter.
You're absolutely right. There are a couple that can come to mind, like Great Mist. He definitely always picks him right, but it's normally guys who want to bring the striking. He has kind of like a Chuck Liddell sort of thing, where he uses his wrestling almost defensively to stop people taking him down. I don't know what the hell's going in slow motion. We entered the Matrix there for a moment, but Jakey, you know, up until this point, has been looking phenomenal on the feet. He was a grappler for a very, very long time. He's been putting it together on the feet. As far as I'm aware, Driz has always been a striker and looks to keep this on the feet and win it out in those positions. It looks like the connection is stabilizing out now, Humble. Thank fuck. But it's this one I expect to have a lot. You know, Holloway doesn't have the power, but he has the combinations, bro.
Oh, it's what the hell? You didn't get a rock.
Wow, I usually think it's over once you duck a head kick.
When you have connection issues, sometimes that happens. I know that sounds crazy, but it's sometimes just the shots that you think it's gonna even. Max at the moment's eating a lot. Jakey's doing a fantastic job in that pocket. J Diamond. Driz has got to get proactive with a jab. He's got to really keep Alvarez at the end of his punches. He's got to fight long, essentially. You can't be fighting Alvarez in the pocket.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
No.
What? How did he magically just go on the ground?
Yeah, the Matrix is real.
Okay.
Bro, if he gets finished now and we don't even know what happened, I don't even know what to say.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say.
What sequence happened?
We need to see the end of the round, and even then it might jump. Oh, this is sad. Sometimes this happens, guys. Before we're in an international league, just so you're aware why we've got this going on. Things can go crazy, but we do have to fight everybody from all over the world, and sometimes the EA servers are not the best, sire, as well. I don't know about you, but this week I've had terrible servers. My internet's absolutely stable and fine, but even against some of my friends, it's been a bit jumpy here and there, so I don't know.
Yeah,
servers
honestly,
might be the problem.
I actually had to put out a tweet recently because the servers were that bad, bro. Like, I couldn't get a fight in OWC. What a similar sort of thing. I thought it was dead, bro. I thought the server might have been, you know, died out, but these guys traditionally don't have these issues, so I don't know what's going on here. Hopefully, it's not actually having an impact on the fight, and hopefully the stream kind of comes back.
Probably will be.
Yeah, it probably will be. See, the problem is if it doesn't stabilize, as we all know, right, it's not something that you can really allow to continue to play out like this. We may have to move on to the next one. But then we have stability, moments of stability with pull. I mean, what the fuck?
It looks nice when it's stable.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly.
Get your cut. You've pulled Jakey and Driz trying to throw multiple. I hate when that happens. I just think throw a knee. When he did, he just got out of there. It's like they telegraph everything, Cyrus.
Okay.
Honestly, the
man,
fact that they
sad.
were doing slip makes me think that it's probably not impacting their fight, to be honest with you. This is, I know it's an odd one. But it is an unwatchable thing, but we may not need to watch it for much longer.
Oh no.
Oh,
Hey,
damn.
Guys, listen to me. So this is what I think happened. I think right now the internet's bad and someone's been knocked out. We just haven't seen it yet.
We're just waiting
Someone's
for
been
that shit
knocked
to
out
catch
already.
up.
Oh, there we go.
I thought you were going to be on the buzzer, Jay.
I was almost there.
I just see
Jay almost
PG in the fight chat. So. That's 4 minutes ago, apparently. Well,
that is madness. What we will say there, guys, and I think that everybody will agree. I'm sure the guys in the comedy booth will at least. if that continues, if this doesn't stabilize out, we will move on to the next one. Of course, I know that it's probably a little bit unwatchable at the moment. I know that we're going to struggle to commentate on it as it continues to jump, but it's just the fact. The reason we're trying to hold on is that we know the caliber of these fighters. We know that it's not normally an issue, so we are still holding out a little bit of hope for that to stabilize out, and we get the viewing pleasure here, Humble, of these guys actually throwing down, because, like I said, they're phenomenal competitors.
Yeah, they don't deserve to have their fight cut for who they are. So hopefully, Drakey tries to finish him right now. He goes for the big slam, doesn't get it. Well, hopefully these guys can finish each other pretty quickly, so we don't have to put it's mainly the audience, the viewing public in. They don't want to watch. They want to watch clean, sort of HD fights, and that's what we usually provide. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, it's not letting us do that on this fight, so we might have to skip it.
Yeah, we are actually going to have to move on that note, guys. We do apologize. Like I said, these things do happen.
Hold on. It's kind of getting stable. Hold on, it's getting stable. Hold on.
Come on, Jakey. Come on,
It's stable.
Come on, Jakey. Give you a minute till 2 minutes. If you go down 2 minutes.
That is mad. Just come back. All we have to do is tell it off a little.
Get to 2 minutes, guys. If you get to 2 minutes, it's
I had to say, hold on. It's trying to stabilize.
Oh, he flipped him. He flipped him. Nice work. These guys it actually is stable now.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I was literally about to click it.
Oh, we're technically again, Cyrus. We're gonna click off. We're gonna leave you guys if you don't stable. We'll get to 2 minutes. If they haven't stingied, we'll just.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll give it till 2 minutes then. But a little bit
we'll give half a fight, guys, with this
action. Come on, though, Humble. The timing of it, bro. As we're about to click off, the fact that it comes back, right? I do think that. Let us know what you think at home. I think it's actually become a lot more stable. We'll see.
Yeah, we're invested.
We are now invested.
You want to see the ending? If you want to see the ending in the chat, yeah, everyone's saying pretty stable in the chat. Let's just watch it. Let's watch this fight. Let's judge it for what we can. As Holloway gets dropped to his butt, and Jakey B is going to try and get the finish, but Drizzy kicks him off in this beautiful, stable connection, J-Dime.
Stable. There got to be a word for how the internet looks right now. There got to be something, Cyrus.
Shaky, bro. I think shaky.
I'm using. Hey, if I'm Driz and I lose, I'm using an excuse. The connection was not stable. It was not playable. I could not counter. I'm using all of them excuses, Humble.
100%. And thank you to Matrix in the chat. Well, another commentator amongst another league saying, "I'll sit through page drive. You three are commentating." That really means a lot to us three. Like, people don't realize the amount of work, the amount of stuff that a lot of these guys put in. Not me, but it's fantastic when you put that. It gives us a lot of nice. It's nice, Cyrus. It's nice. Pull elbow. It's gone again. Oh, come on, guys. You can do it. You can finish the fight. I'm willing it on here, Cyrus. It's gonna happen.
Oh.
Nope. Ding.
Humble being too humble, but no, we do appreciate all the support that you guys come through with. It obviously goes an absolutely long way and makes these events entirely possible. Honestly, though, when it comes to these this community as a whole, the main thing that continues to absolutely blow me away is not just the support, J-Dime, but it's the competitors themselves, the way that they continue to level up their game. As I said to you, Jakey B was a through and through grappler when we first started. Guy would not strike with you for love nor money. Has got very good on the feet, although he does get stunned right there.
Now, what if it's not the game lag? What if it's just the stream lag? What if they're playing? What if everything's going fine?
Potentially, though, potentially. It doesn't appear to be from our end, from everything that I've checked at least, but...
Sometimes streams like that, it's the way that happens, but they're trying their best to hurt each other. It's a fantastic fight. Nonetheless, as Jakey B gets clipped, I believe. I can't tell, Cyrus. This is now to the point of, right, guys, we're turning off again. We've
got 3 minutes 40.
Imagine that. We just turn off now.
On the inside. Riz maybe getting a finish here, bro.
It's over.
Come on. Give him the fish.
Hey, someone's knocked out. Someone may be knocked out already. We just haven't seen it yet.
Mystic J once again trying to call the shots. You're right more often than you're wrong, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see somebody get separated from their consciousness any moment. Jake,
who's winning this, by the way? Who's winning?
I don't know, bro. Honestly, I don't know.
Don't know him.
It doesn't look like we're going to need
right now. It looks like Max Holloway.
It's over. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, it's Max Holloway.
If I'm Jakey B.
Driz getting the job done. I told you, man, this kid is a rising kind of talent out here. I know that there's going to be some probably, well, we'll hear from them actually, whether or not there was actually any issues with the connection in the fight itself. But for as much as we could see it, Humble, for as much as we could goddamn see it, that was a fun-ass fight.
Yeah, I wish it was clean, but obviously,
Yeah,
like, if I was Jakey right now, I'd be in the chat saying that connection was terrible. Like, do you know what I mean? But interestingly, predictions: 1% of people picked Driz. So one person picked Driz, and 6 people put 23k onto Jakey, so that he'll be taking that 23k nicely off them, and I'll be going on the one person that predicted the underdog. That's why you bet, guys. You've got to sometimes pick the opposite guy. You don't know who's going to win. It's always, I always say this about the matchmaking. I think to myself before I get matched, usually I don't really fight. I fight on a Friday because I don't commentate then. So I always think to myself, I hope I get an easy matchup because I'm ranked low down. And I fight a guy who's Division 20 and top 100 on my first, when I'm not on 2. You know what I mean? And it's like you sat there thinking, what the hell on the prelims? It's crazy.
You know this, bro. There is no easy fights. You make it too, like, even the unaired, man. Recently, I've been looking at some of those unaired fights and just going, wow, how are these guys not on a card? And then I'll go and look at the card and I'm like, oh shit, that's why, right? You check the rankings.
Yeah,
it's
rankings.
absolutely stacked.
Or based on rankings.
And look, you know, ultimately, when you're in positions like that, when Driz had an opportunity here, we spoke about it going into the fight, to get a great feather in his cap, to really get his name known for himself, his camp. And he's done that here. He's done that here this evening. I know that it was in less than ideal circumstances with the connection of the quality. And, you know, once again, shout out to B3 Jax, who is the one person that you were talking about a moment ago who put down that bet. He earned 23,500 near enough channel points from that bet.
100
Woo, backing his boy and getting some money paid out, getting those schmeckles, brother, getting those schmeckles. But it sets us up beautifully, J-Dime TV, Mr. Humbledink, for the featured fight of the prelims, talking about the B3 boys. B3 Word Life, one of their more recent additions, now going to be stepping up against Storm in the welterweight division. This one's on the PlayStation side of things, so it's on your side of the, your side of the thing there, Jay and Humble. I'm not as familiar, but I know that Storm is going Ben Askren if he's going through with this pick, which that's an interesting one for me. That's an interesting one for me. I don't think I've seen Storm go something like Ben Askren before.
He's picking Ben Askren.
He can't be.
Against Jorge as well, man. Yeah. Against Jorge.
Yeah. No, pick Ben Askren. Do it. Please do it, because hear me out. It's a win-win situation. If you lose, you're supposed to lose. If you win, you got beat up by Ben Askren. So he's in the most... He doesn't have nothing to lose. This is a win-win for him right now.
Yeah, as well. Right, okay, let me describe this. Word Life is literally one of the best players in the world, and I absolutely love sparring him, playing him. He's fantastic. He's one of them guys who just manages to hurt you in any position, and when you think you're winning a fight, you're not. He's one of them, and he's fighting Ben Askren. He's fighting Storm and Ben Askren now. Storm is a great grappler, but is he going to be able to get past the absolute aggression and brilliant shot selection of Word Life? I very much doubt it, J-Dime.
You mean the brilliant shot selection, the spinning back fist from Ben Askren? That's what you mean? The elite striking?
I mean, look, if he can evade ducking into a flying knee, he may be in with a chance, but Word Life pressuring him like nobody's business. Got him rocked already, Humble. Up against the cage and raining in some ground and pound as he presses, up against the cage to get back to his feet. Not where you want to be if you're Storm, but you probably knew this was coming when you got somebody like Jorge standing across from you.
Exactly, and you've got to be careful. You've got to pick competitive fighters in this league. Like, I know it's his choice to pick. He's not against Word Life. I don't know if he knew Word Life was. I'm not sure, but I think he sparred him a few times. But yeah, this is what a crazy pick from Word Life in Prime Time.
Y'all are disrespecting.
I am disrespecting. He got knocked out by Jake Paul. I am disrespecting.
A lot of people will get knocked out by Jake Paul, but Ben Askren, a former champion in different organizations, Bellator, one championship. Yeah, there we go. Ben showing his elite wrestling, Cyrus.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's a tale of two halves, right? I mean, if Storm is fighting on the feet, he ain't beating Jorge Masvidal unless you are godly behind those sticks. When it's on the mat, that's when your talents are really able to be fully displayed, but he gives up a dominant position pretty easily here, Humble, and there's still a lot of time to work. I mean, look, if you wanted to, Word Life could ride out this position for an easy round.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I'm sorry for disrespecting Ben Askren, but Ben, this is how confident I am, J-Dime. If Ben Askren wins this fight, if Storm wins this fight, I'll give 5 subs. That is the confidence in. He's against one of the best players in the world, and he's picked a character who can barely punch. Now, for me, you've got to have better pick selection. It's just part of the criteria of competing here. He knows this. I don't know what's going on from Storm, but if I'm in his camp, I'm furious.
Man, he's a hater. He's just hating on Ben Askren right now.
I ain't gonna lie to you though, Woodlife is looking particularly clean with his counters, the way that he is trying to set up and bait his opponent into throwing certain shots. The majority of things coming back his way is blocked or just completely and utterly mitigated with some movement and footwork. As a whole, Ben is trying, Jay. He's trying, but just the lack of any pop on his punches doesn't really give Woodlife anything too concerned about when he's pressing the distance.
Oh! Yeah, he looks like a punching bag who can walk. A walking punching bag. He's dead. Ben is dead. He's dead. He's dead. Get over it. It's over. It's over.
He was out for 4 seconds before. Ref was literally about to be like, yeah, my job here is done. I'm clocking off. I'm going home, having a nice brew. And then Masvidal was jumping all over him like I'm getting that extra super necessary shots in, Cyrus. Beautiful work. But look at him, he's out. He's literally flopping around like a fish. And the referee's just casually walking over having a fag.
Well, if you look, he actually goes to walk away and then he's like, nah, he has a couple more. He has a couple more that he needs to eat. Jumps back on him. Watch, he goes to turn away right here.
Mario Yamasaki right there. It's not Yves Levine, it's Mario Yamasaki. Jeez, Yves.
That guy loves blood, bro. He likes to see
people. I can smell alcohol and cigarettes right there. That's what I can smell.
Well, now Keith Peterson not refereeing that one, but a great fight to cap out the prelims. This entire event is moving at the speed of light out here. Honestly, these guys getting the job done and getting it done quickly more often than not. And on that point, they're humble. That gets them those extra couple of points, moving themselves up those rankings, of course. Give us a little rundown of how the rankings work for any of the newcomers maybe that aren't too familiar with the way that our system goes.
100%. I'll give you a rundown. I'll also tell you how to join. If you go into that Discord that we're about to put into the chat right now, you can get a fight. If you are new to the league, usually you go on the unaired to start with, J Diamond Cyrus, and then you build your way up into the rankings and start fighting on the prelims and the main card on the live events that we do every Friday and Saturday, and you get put into the positions that these guys are put into right now, fighting the best players in the world, literally in the world. You know, Naz was a former ESFL champion. You got tons of people, Trixie and a lot of other people who are former ESFL and Primetime, multiple world champions, and loads of new guys coming through and constantly shocking us. But the rankings work like this. You get knockouts, you get extra points. You get it in the first round, you get more points in the second and the third, and the decision is a bit less points. And that's going to add to the season because the more exciting, more entertaining guys are going to be higher up on the rankings, meaning they're higher on the cards. So our events are foolproof, Cyrus. We have the guys who finish the most at the top of the card, and they're constantly fighting against each other for belts. And etc.
And look, it makes sense, right? Ultimately, winning is what is most important, but if you're able to do it with some extra sauce, then that is obviously going to go a long way because people want to see finishes and we want to see them at high percentages. That is exactly what this formula has allowed us to kind of produce almost, with the competitors fully getting behind it. And, as you've seen, they're hunting for early finishes each and every time. Even some of the guys that maybe have been traditionally a little bit more reserved, we see them come out and try to get that knockout or submission. Talking of two top-level opponents that have been known for finishing their opponents, J-Dime, in this first fight of the main card, we have the one and only STLK Ballon up against Big Balls Ned, also now known as Tokyo's Revenge. These guys are very well known. I don't really need to give them too much introduction. Gives us a phenomenal start to this main card. You know that they're going to bring the action, brother.
Yeah, Big Balls Ned, aka I don't know that other name. Forget the other name. But I'm humble. I'm talking about Yeah, I'm not disrespecting Balon. Man, stop starting stuff. So Big Balls Ned is one of my favorite fighters. It's just a shame that they made him change his name. Like that hurts me.
He did it himself.
No, but like they said, it got banned. They said
did he?
Name.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, the other name.
Someone reported him,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I'm his teammate. By the way, I didn't know I'm his teammate. I just want to say, Cyrus, can you give us, before we get into this fight and we'll go into the records and you throw it back to me, what do you get if you're a subscriber in here? Because I've got to shout out PUBG McPappy, who's been a subscriber for nearly 10 months to Prime Time. What do you get when you're a subscriber to Prime Time? Because I've just gifted 5 to those people there. What do they get for that?
So what? Of course, they're going to get all of the beautiful emotes at their disposal. Make sure to fully kind of capture that. And outside that, anything like slow chats, if we ever have to enable those, you get past them. Of course, it goes a long way to supporting the community, but mostly, guys, you know, whether it be Prime or whether it just be your viewership, your support is appreciated. Mr. Humbledink, shout out to you, my guy, absolute legend. I saw you sneakily gifting those 5 subs anyway, brother, after that last fight. And these guys, quite clearly hyped up going into this one, my man. They're not wasting any time, not allowing us get this prepped up. They're already throwing haymakers.
100%.
Oh no, what's going on?
Oh no! Oh, we're back.
I
We're back. Don't worry,
thought died.
These 2 and 2 at the moment in the thingy, the leg damage coming from Ballon. Ballon's a fantastic player, throws a lot of straight strikes, tries to really break the guard of his opponent and set up his shots with the jab. You know, he utilised that really well. And he's doing a fantastic job of attacking the leg kick. Ned's been he's disappeared for a period of time. Now his teammate, I talked to him about it today, you know, he's gone away for a bit of time, hasn't really competed in this kind of second wave.
He's in the lab
for revenge.
He's been in a lab. That's what happened, Humble. He took some time to himself and he finishes the fight.
Oh my days, like, I've been giving him crap, I'm not gonna lie. I've been giving him crap, saying he needs to spar, he needs to do stuff, he needs to get going. And Ned was just like, I'm just gonna roll off the couch, do my business, and then leave Prime Time for the next week. That's exactly what he did, Cyrus. He came in there, he dodged a flying knee and smashed him, and great performance. First round finish in Tokyo. Ned, you know, he's always in the top rankings. He's there again.
Yeah, I mean, look, Big Balls Ned, his name is suited for him, bro. He walks forward, he wears his heart in his sleeve, lives and dies by that sword. He has been away for a little while, like you said, man. Former kind of title contender. He's been, you know, kind of fought the who's who, to be honest with you, throughout the entire community. Went to the mountains, came back looking healthy. That guy is well rested, well prepared, been training Rocky style, and landed some hands very quickly up against a tough opponent. Ballon is no easy matchup for anybody, so for Ned to come through and to blow him out of the water, minute 49 on that clock, absolutely phenomenal, and one hell of a way to start out this season. I mean, I feel like he's hungry, Jay. I feel like he's hungry. He may be coming for that belt in the near future if he keeps on getting knockouts. First round, couple of minutes, can't go wrong, bro. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that wasn't just a win. That was a great performance. He finished the show in the first round. You don't get paid for overtime, and he finished that really fast, Humble.
I like
100%. And you've got people calling him out in the chat. You know, Ned's the most ducked fighter from last season, Cyrus. Let's label him what he is. He had the most pullouts of the day of the fight by nearly double the next person. Ned is the literally most ducked person in Prime Time, and every single time he shows up, he's always there. I think he had nearly 20-something fights last season. You know what he's like, and he finished in that top 15, got his shot at the Grand Prix, and he's going to be back there. He's going to try and get back there this season, and people like Amazon, who beat him last week, are calling him out in the chat. You know when someone's beat you and they're still calling you out, there's blood there, and you know there's like a bit of, you know what I mean? And Amazon right now, Amazon versus, by the way, Cole, he's going to be, I know that annoys you, Cyrus. Amazon versus by Cole. Cole got beat, I believe it was last night or the night before, last week, if I'm correct. Doc, you can probably confirm that to me. But Cole is a fantastic fighter. He's going to have a gripe on his shoulder because he lost his last fight. He did beat me as well a couple of weeks ago. But Amazon's been on a tear, J-Dime. Amazon's been on a tear. He's been beating everyone, people like Ned. And he's been beating a lot of people in ranked I've heard recently as well. Not that I felt it, you know, maybe I have, but he's been doing really well.
It's that versus, right? That's what it is.
Versus.
It levels him up, Jay.
Is it power? Like it's the mythical creature. Amazon versus.
Versus. It's all seriousness. I mean, look, he's in that camp now. He's quite clearly leveled up, Jay, and he's looking to bring that to full fruition, not just in OWC, where it doesn't really matter, let's be honest, who gives a fuck about ranked. In the competitive scene is really where it matters, and these guys now have, you know, their supporters behind them, their haters kind of jeering on, hoping that they lose, and King Amazon is in no short supply of both. He wants to come out here and make a statement, but easier said than done. As we said, no easy fight, especially when you've got Cole standing across him.
Ooh, already. This interesting. Two southpaws. We got Robbie Lawler and Marvin Vettori. I've never thought of that fight in my life, Humble.
100%. I think the prediction just went out wrong, just the prediction team. We need the actual prediction for this one rather than the next fight, I believe, if I'm 100%. But Marvin Vettori is a fantastic grappler. He does really well of taking the fight to the ground. And Robbie Lawler, you know, we've seen him earlier on, Cyrus. He's very durable. As we've seen, got great combinations. Got a few sneaky tricks as well. He's an old veteran, so of course he's going to have those. But Vettori is like a light heavyweight, and Robbie Lawler is almost like a welterweight. And I think the size is going to be a problem in this one.
Could potentially be, especially if it's on the mat. You've got the heavier guy on top of you, raining down ground and pound. This is exactly where Marvin Vettori wants to be. It's where he excels, kind of, you know, making the fight dirty out here. Jay, you know, he wants to grind out his opponent. He wants to take him into deep waters, and this is what, you know, a great way of doing so, especially with attacking that kind of cardio of Cole early, making sure that Robbie Lawler, who is now an older fighter, not in his prime, including on the game, is not able to make it to those later rounds should they get there.
Yeah, if you're Marvin, you're gonna push the pace on Robbie Lawler. His legs don't work the same. You know, the car a little old now. And Humble, didn't Cole whoop your ass recently? Or was I tripping?
He has a really good second round. Yeah, like he comes out really different in the second round and does really well. He presses the action usually. It depends though, because I've seen him the other night take a bit of a tough sort of time when his opponents start to wrestle a lot more, and that's exactly what King Amazon is going to be doing. King Amazon lately, he's really been able to put it together. His mistakes have tightened. He's become one of the fighters who's slowly worked on his craft. And you know, Cyrus, if you keep doing it, you're going to get better, and you're going to put yourself amongst higher competition every single time you do that.
Yeah, Amazon lives by the lesson, or lives by the words, no losses, only lessons, and it has shown through his entire kind of career, if you will, in the way that he's been performing, as you said, adding tools continually and looking more dangerous every time he steps out there. Cole MMA looking to get some big damage in of his own, Jay, but gets caught with an uppercut perfectly timed from Amazon. Killer instinct taking over as he presses forward.
But that's good defense too. That was good head movement, because one more shot would have put him down. So great composure and great head movement to get out of that, Humble.
Yeah, nice work, and you can see Cole starting to find his rhythm right now, starting to get a bit more loose as he goes to get taken down, slammed in the air. Those are those aggressive takedowns that do score points, Cyrus. Those are the damaging takedowns that really put an emphasis on, you know, if you see that in a fight, everybody goes, oh, you know what I mean? The judges are looking at that and they're thinking that's a damaging shot. That's going to hurt some internal organs right there, and that's exactly what it's scored for.
Yeah, it's an impactful takedown, right? It's not just it's not a simple trip, which obviously in itself has advantages and of course scores points, but the high amplitude takedowns, the high amplitude shots are what it's all about. It's about causing damage, making those big movements, making those big plays, and coming out on top. Right now, these guys are really, really testing each other in a number of domains out here, J-Dime. You can see on the replays that Marvin Vettori did seemingly get the better of them. However, we know how dangerous Robbie is, and you cannot count out that man's power.
Yeah, and even though that was Marvin round, Robbie had some success too. There was moments where Robbie was piecing him up. He just can't let Marvin Vettori dictate this pace, Humble.
Yeah, it's mixed martial arts. We talk about it all the time. In mixed martial arts, you got to use the clinch, you got to use the grappling. You can't just use the striking against a pure striker. Somebody who's ruthless as Robbie Lawler, you can't just go out there and expect to let them strike. You've got to make it difficult, make them second guess themselves, make them block differently than they usually would and not be comfortable, and put them against that fence. People don't know about fighting. People don't understand. That fence is cold, Cyrus. It hurts. It rips your back open, and when you get put in it, it's uncomfortable. It's not nice to be there, and that's what Vettori is trying to do right now. He's trying to make it uncomfortable. He's trying to make it difficult. He doesn't want Robbie Lawler to feel like he wants to be there anymore.
100%. He's forcing Cole, he's forcing Lawler to play the majority of these rounds so far defensively, whether it be on the feet or on the mat. And Cole's doing a great job of staying conserved, preserving his stamina, not taking too much damage, and reversing position when he gets the opportunity. But I do feel like Amazon is slowly chipping away a lead in this fight. It's going to come down to the next, kind of 8 minutes or so. We see Lawler separate. Can he get the damage, Jay? That's really the question.
Yeah, he needs the damage because Marvin Vettori can easily just strike and then put him back on the ground and just grind him out like that, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. You can see these are neck and neck at the moment. Even though Amazon is doing a good job of mixing it up at times, Cole's having his moments as well. He's really trying to hold his own in there. There's not a lot of big damaging shots.
Ooh.
Apart from Cole right there.
Ooh.
As Cole steps him back, he's got him against the fence, and Amazon's really going to have his defensive wits about him right now, Cyrus, as Cole comes for him. 2 high-level Division 20s who are really going for it at their prime at the moment.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Setting up feints, combinations, landing with bombs, J-Dime. Almost connecting both ends. God damn.
Oh, if he could have countered that and he had no stamina, this fight would have ended, Humble.
Wrong shot selection, just that kind of composure. He kind of overestimated or over kind of sold and was already had that shot loaded and made his decision. If he kind of waited a second there, Cyrus, he could have ended the fight.
Yeah, definitely. This is honestly tooth and nail to the very end. Oh, how did he not get the land when he slipped that kick? Goes to the knee instead, to the body. Like I said, tit for tat the entire way, Jay. And these single shots, the high variance to them, is giving Vettori a lot of problems. Giving him a lot of problems.
It's giving him hell. It's giving him hell right now. This is a complete different round from round 1, Humble.
It's so different, and this is what high-level players do. They make them slight adjustments, and they pick up on things and then punish you for those things in high sort of segments and damage segments where, you know, they really make it count. And Amazon is starting to lose his composure slowly, Cyrus. I don't know if you've noticed this. He's starting to slowly lose that composure and make more and more mistakes that Cole is starting to capitalize on.
Yeah, when he changed up the rhythm, he changed up the pacing of not only his shots, but the selection of those shots. I just feel like it's given Amazon so many troubles that now is when he, realistically needs to kind of compose himself and come out with into this next round in the way that he wants to continue it, Jay. He can't start out this round bad. He can't get overzealous. He can't try to get it back. He needs to take it for what it is. The start of potentially the last round in this fight, or is the last round in this fight, and he needs to get a W here, bro. He needs to get a W at all costs.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler made an adjustment in second round and he won. Now let's see what adjustment Marvin Vettori is going to make here, Humble.
1-1, J-Dime. It's 1-1, isn't it?
Yes, it is 1-1.
1-1. So you got King Amazon winning that first, I think quite clearly as well, with the grappling and kind of the damage that he did in that round. And then Cole came out in the second and wrote extra on with the striking. Now we start this first minute of we're a fifth through of the first round. It looks like we get a reversal as King Amazon lands. He has a minute of control. Just remember that he has a minute of control in the third round, and now Cole is on top to see what he can do. 10 seconds in so far. He's just starting to go to work.
Well, they are starting out this very first fight of the main card with some absolute heart on display.
Love it.
Beautiful work. And he stays committed, though. Gets it on the second one, Jay. Chain wrestling, and I think that Vettori needed that badly, brother.
Yeah, I'm surprised about how he let that work.
And I'm
surprised how persistent he was, because some people would have gave up after they missed the first takedown, but he went for it again, Humble.
Whenever I see two high-level players not deny an easy sort of transition, I always think there's connection issue. No matter what, I always think I give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, there's connection issues there because there's no let go twice. He's going for it. Maybe he just thought he's not going to do it again, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. But we'll see if Amazon can get him down. No, Cole holds his ground. These are neck and neck in the last 2 minutes. Who wants it more, Cyrus? Is it Cole or is it King Amazon? Both of these guys can propel themselves into that top 10, maybe for a title shot or something like a Cole main event or something in the future.
All to play for, brother. All to play for. Third round is a very important one, especially given how evenly matched they have been throughout the course of it. Robbie Lawler with a slip straight, once again finding the mark, working the body as well, Jay, trying everything he can to get this damage off.
Robbie,
I'm not gonna lie, this is not gonna go to decision, even though there's only like a minute left. Robbie may put him out because it looks like Robbie wants it more, Humble.
Robbie Lawler is turning it up. He's coming after him. Cole smells blood like a shark in water. King Amazon might not survive. The pull elbows are coming, the slips are coming. King Amazon needs a finish in the next minute, otherwise this could be lights out, Cyrus.
Truly it could. 45 minutes left on the clock. This is the first fight in the main card. These guys going for the finish. And Cole able to get himself into that win column once again, J-Dime, with a beautiful slip off. A perfectly timed counter that sends his opponent face down on the canvas.
Yeah. He literally went face down on the canvas, and then Robbie Lawler looked down at him.
Yeah.
I told you it looked like Robbie Lawler wanted it more. That's what it looked like, Humble.
100%. Like Robbie Lawler and Cole. I said it before the fight. He's upset. He lost the other day. He wants to come back with quick sort of assurance. He was caught off guard his last fight. And he knows he's a top player. He's beaten top players, and he's just secured another win over a guy who's got rising momentum. Cyrus, and he stops him right there. Gets the extra points as well. Brilliant work.
Yeah, one hell of a way to bounce back. He was 2-0 and 2-1, now 3-1. Back into the winning column with a beautiful win. Gets those extra points for the finish, and he's going to be riding high, especially after such a difficult first round for him. King Amazon was all over him in that first round, if you remember there, J-Dime. Second round, he was able to switch it around a little bit. Third round, he took that momentum and he ran with it, ultimately securing that victory, feather in his cap, all that good stuff. It's looking good for him in the season so far. I know he's got that loss, but one loss doesn't define you. Those wins, in the way that he's been getting them, definitely going to make him start to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, that was a good performance. That was a back and forth fight, 1-1 going to the third, and he put in a beautiful performance in the third round, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. And he's 3-1 now. 3-1 is good. He was currently ranked, I believe it was like number 12 or something like that. Let me just double check. He was ranked something like 12, and he's just going to shoot himself. Right, he's 13, so ranked him, so he's going to shoot himself right into that top spot. Just give you a rundown. Number 5, Hoo 3-1, Ginger 3-1, Martial Rival 3-1. So he's going to put himself between 3, 4, and 5. And I believe the guy who just beat him is in that exact same position. So that's how you do it, Cyrus. Quick turnaround. You get yourself back on the board, and all of a sudden you're within a co-main event or a big shot in the future if you beat one of those top guys.
Yes, sir. No crying over spilled milk. Getting straight back to that drawing board, addressing what potentially went wrong, and getting the job, getting the job done the right way, I suppose, the next time out. To being able to overcome those obstacles makes you from a good fighter into a great one. And with that beautiful little segue, if I do say so myself, we're going to be moving on to absolutely sensational competitors. One of the fights that, once again, was highlighted at the very beginning of this card, the one and only B3 representative B3 Blackout Hours up against what has been hailed as many times in the past within Primetime MMA as the pound-for-pound GOAT between B-Fab Trixie, former champions. Both guys have a lot of accolades to their name, and I mean, let's be truly fucking honest, right, J-Dime, Mr. Humbledink. These guys don't need introduction. I think that everybody will be pretty happy if we just see these guys start to get to that work and see how they match up, because they are truly top level, and we have never actually seen these guys match up under PT before.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, Jay, I don't know about you, but Trixie, I've never seen a boring fight of Trixie's ever. For me, not only is he's the primetime champion, he's the most entertaining fighter in primetime that I've ever seen fight. There's no boring Trixie fight. It's either a domination, he has a back and forth war, and that's it. There's no in between. That's exactly what it is, a back and forth war or a domination for Trixie every single time. He is one of the GOATs. What's happening with the...
it's leaving us in suspense. We see their names, but it's
Oh, man, I don't see the record, guys. I am blind right now. I do not see that record.
Just to give it a bit of predictions-wise, it's even. Bang on even.
Well, that's the thing, though, right? We've said it too many times to count, but the records going into this fight doesn't count for shit, because when the lights are on, the pressure is there. I mean, it's a different ball game entirely. These guys, accustomed to that pressure, though, J-Dime, they were born in it, they were formed in it, and they are here this evening once again to showcase all of the skills that they have acquired during this long road.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how does B3 Blackout approach this, because as a B3 boy, it's always a sprint, it's not a marathon. So I wonder if he's going to pressure and go balls to the wall with Leon, or he's going to be methodical and take his time, Humble.
Yeah, Trixie's known for losing that first round sometimes as well, Cyrus. He can sometimes let up. He kind of give his opponent the first round. and sometimes get knocked down a few times. He always comes back, but Blackout is going to be looking to get ahead. It is only a 3-round fight, so Trixie's got to be careful. He's got to find a dominant footing early on in this fight, just to make sure he's not leaving himself too far behind with the lack of rounds that he's used to, essentially.
Yeah, I think that he normally takes like the Loma approach, right, where he just downloads his opponents over the course of the fight. Historically, the second round has been his best one as he changes tempos and tries to capitalize on some of the reads that he made early on, but he quite clearly takes Blackout Hour's incredibly serious J-Dime, adapting a more heavy grappling approach than we've seen from Trixie in a very, very long time. Going for a takedown this early, securing it, and, let's be honest, he's a hard man to get out from.
Yeah, Trixie is one of the most complete fighters on this game, and I don't want to say he's the GOAT every week of primetime, but it is what it is, and he's a tough puzzle to solve because he makes adjustments so well, and when he's down and out, he's not actually down and out. He finds a way back into it, Humble.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he makes quick sort of assertive decisions about what his opponents are doing, and it usually impacts. He knows the game inside and out as well. But Blackout is impressing me, so far in this fight. But the problem is you can't have Trixie on top of you in side control, just hammering down hammer fists and denying your transitions over and over again.
Yeah, he did good for the first couple of the first shot and some of the offensive and defensive decisions on the feet, trying to mitigate as much of the damage as he can. But from the side control position, you really don't have too many choices, as Trixie has been committed to just raining down ground and pound, shot after shot. You've heard them absolutely slashing across the face of Leon Edwards. This accumulative damage is not going to be fantastic, and it's going to add up so that in that second round, any shot that does land, Jay, is going to land with that much more impact.
Yeah, Leon Edwards is doing a good job defending, but you can't get satisfied just being on your back. And Kamaru Usman on top of you, a wrestler that caliber, that's not good, Humble.
Yeah, Trixie obviously trains with some of the best sort of wrestling guys in the world. His former teammate, former champion as well. They went back and forth. I think Dirty Dave last season. Cyrus, and they're known for grappling, so he's been getting better at that. And Blackout, he's going to have to survive this one. He's going to have to try and have a different approach in the second round, but he's also he's gonna have to. He now knows he can't get taken down, right? You know that. You get taken down, you lost 2 rounds, it could be over. You've got to make sure you don't get taken down.
Of course, you are absolutely right, but that's the duality of fighting, right? Is that although he needs to be aware of it, he cannot be overly concerned by it because it may, cause him to be a little bit more, gun shy in this fight. And that's not something that we are used to seeing out of the B3 boys. In fact, I would kind of go as far as saying that we have never seen a B3 boy be gun shy in this octagon. I don't think it's going to start right now, but like you say, that takedown definitely going to cause him a little bit of a pause before entering certain positions or opening up with certain combinations there, Jay.
Yeah, he got to fight with some caution because there's a takedown threat. This is not just a striking match. Trixie going to make it a complete mixed martial arts fight, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. And when you make it a mixed martial arts fight, it adds some anxiety, it adds some extra thoughts that your opponent might not be thinking. It takes them off the game. What you want to do in a fight is get your opponent thinking. The best thing you can do is get your opponent thinking rather than just acting and being first and kind of throwing. Because when you've got them thinking, you can obviously misdirect them. You can kind of get in their head, Cyrus. You can make them overthink, and it's kind of manipulation in that way. It's very, very a lot of mind games, but at the same time, that's exactly what you're going to do by mixing it up, by making them think about the takedown.
Yeah, so especially on UFC 4 in particular, takeaway fighting and whatever else, but especially in UFC 4, you need an active defense. You need an active offense. Being reactive in this game leads you into a whole host of problems because you're, obviously, in the name of it, reacting to your opponent, and that allows them to set you up for certain things, as Trixie sets up a couple of combinations right there and is taking his time trying to work for that finish. Intelligently going to the body, Jay, that's punishing.
Yeah, it is, but Leon's going to survive more body shots than most because he has the highest body health in this game, Humble.
That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know why, so it's interesting.
Have you ever seen him get hurt to the body?
No, I'm saying I don't know why. I don't know the actual reason. That's crazy. He's got good head kicks as well. Like, there's no doubt about it. B3 is skilled enough to come back at any moment in this fight. But so far, Trixie has been flawless. He has kept the sort of pressure and the Usman style fighting going throughout. We've seen before miracles happen. Leon Edwards won the belt after losing nearly 4 of those rounds, J-Dime, so it could happen at any point and turn it around.
Okay. He lost 3. Thank you. Thank you.
He does get taken down here though. Once again, only 50 seconds this time, J-Dime. But that's obviously all Trixie really needs, right? A close round. He probably landed more on the feet. I think he got a rock actually. I was saying close.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did get a rock.
I'm wrong.
No, he did get a rock.
Trixie's winning. I think Trixie's 2 up now.
Yes, he is.
Unless we see something different in this 20 seconds, but we've seen the ground game is the ground game is more of a problem with Blackout than on the feet at the moment. So that tells you everything. On the feet, he's getting kind of pieced up, but it's kind of Trixie is dominant. He steps over him. Is he dead? No, he's up. The ref ain't gonna stop that. He's serious. His arm was limp. He's good. Mario Yamasaki strikes a Gale to Herb Dean this time, Cyrus. You know, he's had some problems lately, Herb Dean. He's not quite there.
The B3 boys had to drag him back to the corner. Blackout Hours has had a couple of smelling salts. He has been woken back up and he is ready to get back in there. His team give him the Rocky talk going into this one. And as a result, he has woken the inner beast. Gets the knockdown. Looking to get the finish here.
Proactive.
He has turned up. He has turned up. He has changed this around. He knows he needs a knockout, and he is not going to take his foot off this gas.
That's what I love, though. Don't go into a fight and just keep the same. You got to do something. You got to make it happen. You got to put yourself out there. It's exactly what he's doing right now. Blackout Hours. He's going for Trixie's head. He's going for the win, and Trixie gets away from 2 shots right there. He's on wobbly legs, Cyrus. He's on his skates.
Oh my God,
he's
man.
away from the former champion.
Tries to tie. Oh my God, bro. He's got it. He's got the shot. It's mad.
I thought he was going to do it. Oh,
let's go, chat. This is prime time. This is prime time MMA. This is what you bring you every single week. You tune into us. These fighters deserve it. This isn't even the main fight, Cyrus.
Honestly, brother, these guys headlined events in the past for a reason. They will headline events in the future. Oh, goddamn sure. They continue to impress as Trixie gets the reversal, being just being kind of fully behind your own skill set, J-Dime. Being, having full belief in it. That's what Blackout Hours had going into this round. He had nothing to lose. He was 2 in the bag. Came out and has put so much pressure on Usman in this round. I mean, it's unfortunate for him to be in this position, and this may be the fight over right here, but...
Oh, no! He's over! It's done!
But he was so close.
Man.
He was so close.
Credit to him.
How Trixie survived the game. There's a million moments where he just be on death's bed, and he just... Wow.
The compilation of Trixie's surviving. We just need Jay to. We're like screaming. How many times have we done this? How many times have we done it where Trixie looks like he's down and out? It looks like it's over, and then all of a sudden he's on top of you, smashing your face in. Like somehow he finds a way. This guy is like the Terminator of primetime. It is literally the Terminator of primetime. You think he's done. You think you've got rid of him. And, only one person this season has been able to put him out, and that was Naz. And I think it was like a 3rd round finish as well. And Trixie now puts himself 6-1. He's got to get a title shot after that. He's got to.
Yeah, he is knocking on that door of the rematch. I mean, I don't know how is it set up. I imagine that this was probably as close to a #1 contender fight as you're going to get going onto the Xbox side of things. And Trixie made a... Look, we try not to cuss on these streams, but nevertheless, it's deserved here. He fucking... turned up here this evening. He made a statement beyond, that's B3 Blackout Hours, bro. That guy is a phenomenal competitor, as we saw in the 3rd round, has sensational striking, able to finish absolutely anybody, anytime. But BFAP Trixie came in with an intelligent, diligent approach to this fight and just outworked his opponent, took away all of his tools, got his hand raised, all props being given to that guy right there. I mean, what a fight that may be, whether it be Donner or Naz that we see in the future. Just what a matchup, bro. I can't wait. These fights have been fucking crazy, Jay. We still got 3 of them left to go, brother.
Man, that was so crazy because he was on death's bed. I thought he was going to get put out. I thought Blackout was going to make the comeback. I'm still in shock that happened. That's so crazy.
It is crazy, and the bets are still open for the next fight. We're going to have another absolute barn burner. We're not over, as you said, we've got 3 fights left. And like I said, during that fight, we get so emotional. It's PT. We put all of our time and effort into this per week. We don't get paid. We love to do it. And that's the results you get for all this effort. Brilliant competitors coming into your league and putting it on and putting a show on. This is entertainment, Cyrus. And they put a show on for the crowd. But next, we have number 8, Gemini versus T-Soul, 33-2. Both of these guys, exact same record. Gemini's been getting a few more knockouts, and they're fighting so far up in this card because of the knockouts both of them have getting on and the run that they're on. You know, they're gonna have a tough test to beat the last fight, but they're gonna do it at lightweight, Cyrus, and I believe we're gonna be getting this one ready next.
Yes, sir. These guys are ready and raring to go. We'll see if we'll get a correction in the background. B3 Gemini, it should be. So from one B3 to another, he has been really having a standout season so far, Gemini has, and same could be said about the one and only Raw Soul. I always go to call him Two Soul, and I have to stop myself, but Raw Soul, previously known as Two Soul, that guy has, quite honestly, one of the most unique styles. If I was to compare him to somebody, I don't know if you agree, Jay, I don't know if you agree, Humble, but I compare him, not necessarily in the way that he fights, just in the fact that he's so unique, to somebody like a Dominic Cruz. He doesn't march to anybody, everybody else's drum. He does his own thing, he brings his own style and believes in it, and especially this most recent season, that's all come together for phenomenal performances, which is definitely what's going to be needed against somebody of, Gemini's caliber.
Yeah, you're right about his style. It's really tricky because, he has Dustin Poirier right here, and he may fight off his back leg like he's a kickboxer, but with better hands. It's real interesting, Humble.
Yeah, it definitely is, and Gemini's quite similar as well. He's got his own sort of style, and both of these guys are very, very unique in their own way. And as you said, Raw is going to help him a lot because there's a lot of in-depth characters in Raw. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of certain skill sets that you can kind of utilize, and especially because KIA used to be Raw, so I kind of know a lot about those guys. They're the American version of KIA. It's got people like Matrix in the chat, who's a forward pressure striker, Spooky, who's just a grappler, Kieran, who's a fantastic Taekwondo kickboxer, and that's going to help you out. That's going to give you a lot of dexterity. But now you're fighting on just before it's like the core main event of prime time. Yeah, as Doc said last night, the core main event, like a little drink right there, and you've got to put it out there. There's a lot of people watching you. Trixie was fighting before you. Trixie was warming up. I set up the prelims. You've got to put it out there. You've got to show your skills, and a lot of people are watching these guys fighting. If they show up, Cyrus, that's the key.
Yeah, it's an absolutely massive spot for them to really stand out right now. I mean, Gemini's been around for a long time. He does good amount of work in the back as well, to be fair to that guy. Definitely a pillar of the community. Like I said, both guys training with absolutely excellent camps. The Raw boys have been doing fucking phenomenal recently. But as I said, the B3 boys, they bring a different type of striking, a different type of pressure to that cage. And as you can see, he is walking down Poirier right now, although Raw Soul does like to fight off that back foot, as you mentioned here. So I don't know how much of it is part of it being by design, Jay.
Yeah, I was about to say he needs to leg kick him because that movement, he need leg body. He got to hit leg body. He can't get caught on too many straights because he's going to get out the way. That's what I was about to say, Humble.
Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes that, Joey's making at the moment for the amount of movement he's using, and the pressure that McGregor's kind of coming with is catching him even there. And your Soul has got to be careful because Gemini and bullies do exactly that. They don't let up when they have you hurt. He's going to the leg, going to the head, and with Conor McGregor, that might be done.
Oh, bro, 0 head health, but survives. Sorry, Jay.
I was about to say, if I was him when I had him on the cage, I would knee him to the legs. I wouldn't even go for the body. I'd go for the legs because his legs already weak right now.
Yeah, it is mincemeat, brother, mincemeat. He tries to actually go for a knee as the takedown gets attempted, able to drive through on it, and Two Soul has got submissions on his resume, but not a lot of time to work here, Mr. Humbledink.
Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of a desperation shot as well. He's managed to do a good job, but he's going to test his opponent. It's grappling at the moment, but is it too little, too late? He's took a lot of damage. Maybe if I was him, I'd be looking to kind of take away chip away at the stamina a bit, just to make the next round a bit easier and go in with a game plan of, right, I'm not going to be able to compete with you when it comes to head for head. We're moving our heads, but that body work might be a problem. You know, you can kind of gas Conor a bit, especially the way he's moving. If you can take a few big shots to that body, make it even. But no, dink.
But I mean, look, every time we say this about Gemini, and every one of his fights come the end of this first round, he gets to like that halfway mark of stamina. But when you think he's out because of that stamina, everybody just forgets that damage is already done, Jay. It's already done, bro. He's knocked his opponent down twice. He's got, I think, 2 or 3 stuns in that first round. Conor McGregor definitely a front runner, and if Dustin can make it to the 3rd round, he's still in a problematic position, bro, because he cannot exchange with Conor. That head health is becoming incredibly suspect as you know, as the seconds tick by, and I think a takedown like that is actually what he needs. He needs to secure something.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but people forget that Gemini's a B3 boy. They're used to not having stamina. They're used to sprinting. They're used to not having stamina and still throwing and knocking people out, Humble.
The Michael Chandlers of the UFC community, you know, these guys like to throw dust into the wind and see how it goes. That's exactly what they do. And it's going to be interesting to see if Saul has matured as a kind of a fighter, because there's been a lot of adjustment making tonight, and I constantly talk about it all the time, Cyrus. Adjustments is what makes great plays. A lovely adjustment there from Gemini, but he needs it. Saul needs a big adjustment in this round to kind of throw it his way, because the last round didn't go to plan.
Yeah, and he's actually doing a good job of when he's mixing in these takedowns and he's throwing a couple of body roundhouses. His attack is quite clearly to attach the body, but he may not get there. Double elbow on the inside, Jay.
That's a killer.
Oh
I can't
my
believe
God.
it. I don't believe it.
Comeback.
I hate that. I don't believe it.
Come back with the elbow. Come back with the elbows.
They don't even look like much, do they?
With
and they're
the-
just like,
It doesn't,
With
bro.
the
It doesn't.
elbows. The comeback.
oh my days, mate. I can't believe it. Saul just was like, have one. That landed. It looked like it was going to make. Oh my, I'd be so angry. I'd be so mad with myself.
Elbow.
Dink.
Elbow.
Bro, and he was straight in the chat as well,
Oh,
in
he's
all
so
caps.
angry.
Soul is never done. Don't sleep on me, ever. Bro, I'm telling you, never will to Soul. Raw Soul, never have, my man. What a fight! What a fight! Gemini was running away, and like you said, the adjustments that were being made as the fight kind of went across. He was still in trouble, but it was just that one big pullback counter, perfectly timed, when he came back with a couple of those short elbows in response, and Gemini was not able to weather that storm that came out of nowhere. It seemed.
Just two standing, just quick, pow, pow, pow. Just 2 elbows, you're damn like, if you're gonna load up on me, I'm going to catch you twice, and that's it. Game over. 2 big jawbreakers, and the fight is done. That's all you need. This is what I mean about the top level. One thing happens, and it changes the entire fight.
100%. Mm-hmm. Well, my guys.
Is still in shock.
Yeah, he's still in shock. And I don't blame him, bro. I don't blame him. That was some craziness to set us up for this co-main and main event of this evening. Of course, here this evening we have had non-stop action, Mr. Humbledink, from the opening bell, and it will continue to the final one. It's all been culminating towards these two fights, the co-main and main event. As I said, they alternate each week. This next fight, the co-main event of this week for Primetime 73, is the one and only current pound-for-pound GOAT in Primetime MMA, which is NM Smudger, who's going to be taking on the one and only NBK VUK. These guys been around for a long old time. They've got crazy records going this season, Humble, and as we've mentioned, they match up beautifully for this one.
Yeah, 100%. There's only been a certain amount of events so far, and Smudger is currently 5-0. Nobody's been able to beat him, but you can't let up as well, because last season, Cyrus, I'm pretty sure he ended as the primetime champion, and he's kind of regained that. And you've got to talk about that. A concession, it barely happens in the Xbox division because it's so competitive. Your likes of Fadnator, Trixie, Naz, Dirty Dave, all these guys are so good, and they can kind of switch around. And even who was fighting on the undercard today, Caliber, and all these other guys, these guys have been the champion at one point. Whereas the PlayStation division, Smudger's put a stomp on it. He smudged his thumb mark on there and said, "This is mine." And Volk Gaming is coming in undefeated. 2 undefeated fighters going at it. Someone's has got to go, J-Dime. Who's going to show up with the pressure? That's the question.
All I'm saying is, it looks like the whole world has Smudger right now.
He got support.
That's what it looks like right now.
He's got
Have a
support,
look.
brother. He's got support. They touched them up. The champion pressing the action early, trying to bait out a couple of shots. Nice body shot from VUK, trying to work the leg as well here, Humble. But you know these early rounds, it's a lot of jockeying for position. It's a lot of trying to give your opponent some different looks, trying to make some reads, and make those necessary adjustments that we spoke so much about in the last fight.
Yeah, Smudger at this weight class is so hard to fight as well because he's a Conor main, so you know he's one of those guys who likes to, when he gets control of which fight he can pick, and he can kind of do that, and he gets the first pick because he's the champion. You know, he picks that Conor, and it's tough to beat him every single time. Vook Gaming got a lot of haters already started in the chat there, Dan. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of people do not like Vook Gaming.
I told you he's the one guy that can bring everyone together.
I've never seen
may
him do a
not be
thing
for
wrong.
love.
One line. Never seen him do a thing wrong. I've never seen Vook Gaming do one thing entirely wrong, and I just see a lot of hate from him, and I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? Why do people hate him? I don't know. I've never seen. You've never seen him do anything wrong.
Bro, I can't say I have, but just the subtlety of J Dime there. Just, he's the type of guy to bring everybody together. Not necessarily for good. I love it, bro. I love it. He's quite clearly, you know, got himself a little bit of a villain role, but he wears it, bro. He wears it on his sleeve. He's happy with where he's at. He's obviously wants to prove his supporters right, his haters wrong. He has the biggest challenge ahead of him here. Doing a good job of working his jab so far, but that pressure is relentless from the champ.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have a problem with the way he's fighting because he hasn't circled the cage. There we go. Because he was kind of just, he was fighting off his back foot with his back almost to the cage at one point. And he's back there again. He has to get off that cage, Humble.
But you got to look at Smudger, what he's doing. False pressure, he doesn't throw anything, closes the gap, gets right in his face. His opponent decides, I've got to move backwards or sideways, and then Smudger closes down the pressure, throws a double jab or throws a slight combination just to break the block. And then once he gets him against the cage, that's when he really unloads. But he spends 90% of his footwork and time just backing up his opponent. False pressure, false fakes.
And let's be straight as well there, Humble, right? One of the things that he does better than virtually anybody on this game period is he cage cuts, bro. As you can see right now, Poirier is following him, and it's allowed him to get out, although he did eat a couple of shots. But he got out, back in the center. Easy.
Back on the cage.
Back on the cage.
And look,
So good. It's so good when you actually know what he's doing. It's like so nice to watch. His footwork is phenomenal. He steps across his opponent. He makes sure that lead leg is going to be first every time. He understands that. And that's why he's so difficult to beat, because he controls 90% of the footwork in the fight.
It's nice. If you're watching his feet, it's nice, right?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to watch feet, guys, but just watch the footwork, guys. That's all I'm saying.
J Dime and his foot fetish again.
Are you crazy?
We don't talk about it on this show, J Dime, but if you want to go to J Dime's stream, by the way, and watch him on Twitch as well, he is a fantastic streamer and a cool commentary. But what a fantastic co-main event we have tonight, Cyrus. Co-main event, sorry. Brilliant fight, title fight. And so far, the champion has done so really well. What do you think that the Vook Gaming's got to do in this fight to mix it, to kind of change it and mix it up?
He needs to stop entirely backing up, kind of in those horizontal lines. He's backing up straight, basically, bro. A little bit more circling, like I said before, trying to, just get off this cage. It's easier said than done when you've got somebody like Smudger pressing you, but in situations like that, he was throwing rather than circling. He's just taking all opportunities to answer back rather than getting himself in the better position to be defensively and offensively sound. Smudger, being the champ he is, absolutely unloading, but he did walk onto a couple there, Jay.
Yeah, but Vook Gaming is doing better than people are giving him credit for right now. The striking numbers are really close. I just don't like him having his back on the cage, but he is doing better than people think right now, Humble.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. He's squaring him up, right? He's making him turning from like an angle which he's bladed and kind of has to defend less, squaring up against that fence so his full body's showing, and he's really going to load on the head and switch it up to the body, and he's barely wasted any stamina as well. We're 2 minutes and a round in. It looks like he's just got started. He's barely any shots that he's missed, Cyrus, and he's always faking, constantly just keeping the pressure. It's difficult. What do you do against this guy? You've got to mix it up. You've got to add your grappling. You've got to add some clinch work. You've got to make him think about other elements of the game. You can't just do a striker match with Smudger. It's virtually...
Oh my god, bro. Perfectly timed, as you said. Everything he does is picture perfect. He sits him down with that right hand, not even the left, J-Dime. And now he's pressing for the finish. Conor McGregor, Smudger, the champion, doing everything and anything that he wants in this fight so far.
Here we go.
There we go. But the problem is that takes up stamina. That takedown takes up a lot of stamina.
It's over.
Yeah, and that was actually defended, believe it or not. It was just a late stand-up due to how tired VUK Gaming was after that big movement to get him down to the mat.
Crazy so far, and Smudger is looking like the more experienced guy. J-Dime, he's doing a really good job of making his opponent work, but cage cutting is the key. He's showing an expert sort of tutorial on exactly how to play this game as a pressure fighter right now.
He's making him throw when he don't have to. Like and them whiffs, like Smudger's smart. He's making him waste his stamina. Them whiffs. If he get to a third round, he's gonna have no stamina.
That's it.
It's not getting to third. Never mind.
The champion.
And it's still NM Smudger. I mean, as beautiful of a tile defense as you're gonna get the CJ Dime. I'm pretty much speechless, brother. But this guy does it again. Defends that pound for pound spot on the rankings.
He's the man on PlayStation. He's the man. We're still looking for people to beat Smudger on PlayStation. Another brilliant performance. He made it look easy, Humble.
He made it look easy. Indeed, Cyrus. He did a great job. He's a fantastic champion. He goes 6-0 for the season. Book game in 3-1. He's got to hold his head up. He fought a tough fighter. Like, I do not want to fight Smudger. Right, I have to because we're matched up in another league. But I do not want to fight Smudger right now. If I'm a competitor, I do not want to fight that guy because there's a lot of problems right there. You've got to think of some other stuff. You've got to grapple him. You've got to go to the body. Or you've got to hold your own. You can't move backwards and sides. He does that false pressure so well. He just comes at you, stays in the pocket, doesn't throw anything, just a few shots, waits for you to miss, and then you have to move back because your stamina's low. It's such a good way to kind of fight. People don't realise defense is sometimes the best attack. You come in, you dodge a few shots, you get your opponent's stamina down, and he moves back. Then he just presses the action from there. Like, that's how he begins most of his fights, and it's really nice to watch someone who puts defense ahead of offense to kind of set up his offense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's an intelligent fighter, brother. He brings it all together, the full array of mixed martial arts, and he understands that everybody's game, right? Everybody has talents on this game. They have areas that they're strong in, so he never wants to give his opponents any ammunition to, be able to land some of those shots with, but the guy is doing phenomenal work right now. Not only is holding the PlayStation Championship, defending from last season all the way through the Grand Prix, but so far has been able to thwart off 3, 4, 5 tile defenses already at this point of the season, and that in and of itself has secured him a #1 spot on the pound for pound rankings, which I know that this next guy right here, the current champion on the Xbox side, is going to be having something to say about that. Naz has won the belt after having a difficulties in his first round of the Grand Prix, got the wild card to come back in due to his former opponent having to pull out, and has been on a absolute massacre ever since here. Humble. He has not let up on anybody standing across him, has walked them down, finished them each and every single time, and he not only wants to be the primetime champion on the Xbox side. I've spoken to this guy in the general champ. Sure, everybody's been seeing him pull out. He wants that double champ. He wants the biggest accolades that are possible, and to try and become the pound for pound within the promotion. And he has to continue to do what he's been doing so far, here this evening. And I think that's easier said than done. EK Donner is an absolutely phenomenal opponent, a great competitor that's coming up, and we actually spoke about this a little bit, I believe, off stream as we were going into this. Naz formerly trained with EK, so a lot of the EK guys are going to be familiar with his style. I wonder if that's going to have an impact, kind of like that Cody Garbrandt finally coming up against Dominic Cruz. Is this the moment we see a camp that's had a number of chances, that have trained with him in the past, make those adjustments, or does Naz once again reign supreme?
100%, and EK Donner's going to have a tough test, but I know about Naz as a champion. He calls everyone out. He does his job. He does his job. He sets up fights left, right, and centre. He's called about 5 people out today who've won. Called out Caliber earlier on. He was calling out a few of the other guys like Trixie and a few of the guys. Like, he sets up fights, and that's what you want in a champion, and that's why I respect him. Looking at the records of these two, they've obviously clearly had nearly 12 fights between them. It's pretty much even. Naz is kind of favoured in that one, but J-Dime, the ever-resilient Volkanovski is one of my favourite fighter picks, and I actually think at the moment, for me, he absolutely kills most people in that division because of fights. It's difficult. One of the main things is the leg kicks, and you see Naz going with Conor McGregor, and he suffers from certain leg kicks. But Naz is an expert. This is all about the actual individual players and their sort of ability to study each other, and who's more prepared in this one.
For sure.
You said it right.
Nerves are high, brother. Nerves are high. I don't know, man.
Xbox sensation, Naz versus Donner, the championship fight for the Xbox. Here we go, J-Dime.
Yeah, here we go. And this is what I will say about Naz. Naz performs well under the bright lights. It may be 7-5, but let's see who's better between them when the lights are on, when the cameras are on, when there's real pressure on you, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. That pressure can form diamonds, my man. And Naz has been shining bright since he's able, since he's been able to work his way to that gold. Doesn't seem to show any signs of slowing up anytime soon, but as I mentioned, EK Donner is as veteran savvy as they come, believes in himself. He's the underdog coming into this one. A lot of people doubted him, but he believes in his ability. His camp believe in his ability, and he wants that primetime gold here, Humble, and it's never been so close, brother. It's never been so close.
Exactly. Big shot right there. Oh, Naz going early. He's got to keep his patience. One thing about Naz is he can get a bit too reckless. He can get a bit too kind of excited. He does start really well in most of his sort of championship fights, but he did this against Pabst. We came out there and threw a lot at him, and then as it got later on in the fight, the second and third round, he was getting clipped a bit more. He's got to be careful of that. And the same on Donner, he can't let too much damage occur. He's got to chip away at that body. He's got to make Naz kind of regret his misses, and he can't let him go and punish when he does do a big whiff like he did earlier on.
100%. Staying composed. I mean, the guy going into the fight, he does everything right. But as you said, sometimes emotions can get the best of you, especially in the fight. You feel momentum is going in your favor. You ride that out, and ultimately, sometimes that can be where the mistakes are made. Right now, he's looking very clean. He's landing with a very high percentage. But of course, cardio could become a problem if he lets too much go too early and doesn't get the desired result in a finish there, Jake.
Yeah, but this is what I think that Volk need to do. I think Volk got to utilize some of his leg kicks because Volk has beautiful leg kicks, Humble.
Yeah, he does. You got some caliber in the chat right there, jiving at Naz. Saying, watch his knees. His knees are the best weapon. They're very strong and powerful. He's jiving. Nice compliment. A backhanded compliment as well, as you know, Cyrus. And setting up kind of a fight for the future between those two undefeated fighters.
He wasn't trying to compliment him. Let's be real, right? He wasn't trying to compliment him. But I would love to see that fight, as I would love to see many of the fights that we have potentially scheduled up. But of course, no more important than this one right here. Who will be the future champion of Primetime MMA on this Xbox division? Right now, Naz, the champion's head health was blinking for a moment. Volkanovski doing some good work and starting to attack that leg like you were calling for, Jay.
Sometimes I give good advice, like 10% of the time. Sometimes I say some BS, but like I give good advice sometimes, Humble.
Yeah, sometimes. I agree on that one. Sometimes you do. But the problem is you've got two legs. Most people can fight who are good players. They can fight both stances sometimes. Naz is trying to end it right now. The leg health, he's got to. For me, he's got to do more to the body. Guy's coming forward. He's constantly whiffing. He's missed a lot of shots. He's missed nearly 76 strikes. Got to punish him for a few of them misses. And it's not easy. You're fighting one of the best players in the world in Naz, and he's throwing a lot out there. You've got to kind of capitalize on that. The legs aren't going to kind of get him out of there. The body shots are going to slow him down. For me, he's got to rest. He's got to do some body work. He's got to stop him from coming forward and punish him when he whiffs.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if you saw it there for a moment. Statistically, incredibly close in this fight. But I actually feel like that when it's so close damage-wise, when it's so close in terms of their land percentage, that actually is going to favor the Volkanovski player due to the statistics that he gets in his favor. This is a 5-round fight, Jay, and oh my god, the damage is flying, my man. It is absolutely flying across this octagon.
Yeah, they're brawling right now, but I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, Conor McGregor still to me is the most powerful guy in this division on this game.
Yeah, you are right. It's just he's not slowing. Naz is not slowing down anytime soon. He's going to keep attacking that head. He's doing well. He's doing too much damage. And for me, Donner started the fight. He came out. He tried to meet him fire for fire. He tried to plant his feet and throw shots a bit faster and more powerful. Naz held his ground and won that battle. And now as Donner's on his back, Naz is starting to pressure. And we'll see if they switch up from camera angles and Changing up corners is going to help.
Well, he got a stun to start us out here, Jay. Then he gets the knockdown in the second round. Potentially the finish is the next. Might be happening right here, brother.
He's patient.
Yeah. That's exactly what he needed, right, Humble. That patience was key.
Oh, Rigger!
He gets rocked.
I just got him. I shot him. Shot him. This is what I mean.
As he got Connor. It's a game of inches. It's a game of inches, Humble.
Nice from Naz.
Good defense.
See, now there's a bit of caution. You see Naz blocking a bit by you.
Understandably
You
so.
need one thing to change momentum, Cyrus. You need something to change momentum.
Oh my God, is it going to be a new champion?
Something.
This could
That's
be
the
it.
something.
Oh, he's over.
Something. We have a new champ.
Oh my God.
EK Donner with the W.
Oh my God. Prime time MMA stand. What a night of fight.
This has been...
Holy shit.
This has been fucking crazy, bro. This has been crazy. The way that Naz was starting out this fight, he has been a phenomenal champion since he's got that belt. Okay? And I know that we're gonna see him back. What were you gonna say, Humble? I'm still kind of a little bit flabbergasted.
Crown the champion, Cyrus. Crown him.
And you, brother, EK Donner, may have at moments not even believed in himself, but said it in the back. He has been working on his tools. He came to this fight well prepared, got the right pick, was able to land the right shots, and fuck, man, like I'm absolutely blown away. And, I mean, Jay, after the way that first round or two, even though it was close, the way that Conor was getting ahead, I thought this is the start of the end. Naz is doing his damn thing, doing the damn thing and just kind of like walking his opponent down at this stage. And then Donner just kind of pulls it from left park, bro, comes out of nowhere, gets that finish. Happened in the first fight, happened in the last one. What a way to close out this show.
Game of inches. It's a game of inches. You need one thing to shift the momentum around. You could be getting your ass whooped. You need that one thing. And once he took momentum, he never gave it back, and he put Naz away.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, look forward to seeing these guys fight again. Don't know what's in the future for both of them. Naz has defended a number of times there. Obviously, all the matchmakers will kind of have a chat about it in the background. But tonight is the night of NM Smudger and EK Donner. One and new, leads us beautifully to the climax of tonight's event. Make sure to join us now next week, Friday. That is 3:30 Eastern, 8:30 p.m. GMT. We will be back for more UFC 4 action. Until then, from myself, Mr. Humbledink, J-Dime TV, all the guys in the PT family, much love, stay safe, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We will actually be doing a raid at the end, so please join up that. Show some support to the rest of the UFC 4 community, but stay safe, you beautiful bunch of savages, my guys.
Peace.